Unmissable late-night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain Lee. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on talkRADIO.
At a restaurant in Salisbury has now been lifted. Emergency services had been called to Zizi's after concerns with a man in his 30s. It's the same restaurant where a former Russian spy and his daughter had visited before they were found poisoned with a nerve agent. Big crowds of protesters gathered at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire earlier, where Donald Trump is being
Blenheim Palace
dinner with the Prime Minister. The US President's appointment was delayed earlier because of an impromptu press conference in Brussels. There, he was asked would he be treating people differently once he boarded Air Force One.
No, that's other people that do that. I don't. I'm very consistent. I'm a very stable genius.
The President and First Lady are travelling around the country. So far, they've been trying to avoid any demonstrations. Earlier, though, people gathered close to the US Ambassador's London residence to protest against this event.
Okay.
News 2 years on from the referendum, and the government's revealed its plan for Brexit. It includes visa-free travel for tourists and students, as well as keeping free healthcare for Brits on the continent and Europeans in the UK. There'll also be a common rulebook for the regulation of goods, which has angered many Leave supporters. 2 people are being held on suspicion of manslaughter over the death of a girl who was thrown from an inflatable trampoline in Norfolk. The 3-year-old died on a beach at Galston 11 days ago. Finally, Twitter's removing tens of millions of fake accounts from users' followers. It's part of the campaign being dubbed The Purge, designed to tackle suspicion. Let's take a look at the weather then. Some heavy and thundery showers across southern and western parts of
Close.
and Wales overnight. Clearing to leave a dry morning for most of us.
Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have their sparkiest, huh? Now, I normally, when I come into the show, I have it all... It's all very, very carefully scripted, by the way, and all worked out meticulously. I've left my script somewhere, and it's making me very discombobulated, but we'll get on with that. If you want to give us a call tonight... 03444991000. We are joined by, I'm going to say it, friend of the show. I don't know if he'd consider that, and we may have words afterwards, but Matt Haig is here. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening.
You've got to come nice and close to these microphones.
Okay, is that right? Am I okay?
You're okay. Now, here's the thing.
Professional?
Well, no, let's not get carried away. Here's the thing. I follow you on Twitter. You're one of, I think, 30 people I follow. And I saw, lots of people saying you were in Milton Keynes today doing one of your...
Yeah, about 5 minutes ago.
Flipping heck, man, that's miles away.
Yeah, and we missed the train. So we're very lucky to be here. We ran like Cinderella.
Yes.
From the ball, and me and a publicity person from a publisher, and we were sprinting. We thought we've got to make the Iain Lee show tonight. It was basically like Speed 3.
Wow.
Was there a Speed 3? Or wasn't
No, there wasn't. Speed 2 was on a boat.
Yeah, not so good, was it? Cruise control.
Yes, but and the gentleman in it, Bill, or Ted wasn't in it. What's his name? Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
Wasn't
Matrix,
in it.
yes.
The Matrix guy. This book tour that you're doing, you were at the South Bank Centre the other day, and we were going to come, me and Kath, and then, you know, life, you're aware of this life.
I'm having, at the moment, a Fox's Glacier Mint as my dinner. I haven't eaten since about 11.
Would you like some chocolate and crisps? Thank you. Because we've got a machine upstairs. I'm happy to send Catherine with my card.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
I say card, I mean, it's
crisps works.
Crisps.
Any particular flavour?
Don't offer him that because there's not really a lot of options on the crisp.
I want, authentic Mexican tortilla chips, please, and fresh guacamole.
Do you want a Coke or anything?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
I'm good.
All right,
yeah,
fine, there we go. Let's look at this. You've changed. You've changed. Last time you came in, you didn't want anything. Now you're demanding crisps, mate.
I know.
Sweet. Look, just because you're friends with Stephen Fry and Benedict Cumberbatch, you've changed.
I'm Elton John.
So tell me, the book Notes on a Nervous Planet is the new book. So you're doing a tour to promote that. So what happens at these, I'm going to say the word shows. Is it...
That's a big word.
Okay.
It's me sitting in front of people, normally with someone to talk to. And, well, you do similar things, don't you? Your rabbit thing.
Yeah, the rabbit thing. Glad you've been paying attention.
The rabbit thing. And, I just talk and overshare. Iain. I'm sure you're familiar with that word.
Oh, God, yes. It's my life, man. It's my life. I cried on TV in front of 12 million people.
Yeah.
What have you done?
I know. I feel actually quite restrained when I'm with you, Ian.
No.
It's nice to have you there. We were talking about you today at the show. I'll call it a show.
Yeah.
Lots of people say, because you were very nice about my other book, Reasons to Stay Alive.
Yeah,
on your
great
show.
book.
And you got a lot of people to read it, so thank you for that, mister. And also, just you're kind of like, I don't know if you like this word, but mental health hero, aren't you? Because or I don't know, new masculinity or whatever.
I prefer that. Hero is a strong word, which I would dispute. But yeah, I'm happy to say that I have represented certain aspects of perhaps a new masculinity, and by that I don't care less that I cried in front of 12 million people. I couldn't care.
No, and it's amazing, and it's weird, isn't it, being male? Because like you're sort of conditioned. Like it took me years to talk to anyone about mental health, and now I can talk to crowded rooms or radio shows or whatever, no problem. But it's just crossing that threshold, isn't it? You stigmatise yourself, and I was a bit pathetic when I was younger. I was always trying to hide things. Disguise my emotional.
I have, but it's funny. The oversharing thing is tricky. Without going into too much here on air, because screw you guys, we give you enough. But I have been in relationships where the other person has said, "I wish you would stop saying all of this stuff. This is private. This stuff." And of course, keeping it private is what kills people. And I think one of the great things of the last, 5 years, 10, let's say 5 years, is that the stigma around, everyone talking about it, but perhaps specifically in the context of this conversation, men, is that it is so much more acceptable to say, I'm really struggling with life. I don't get life today, and I want to, there are times I wish I was dead, and I'm bursting into tears. There's still a lot of stigma around it. You've still got people like Piers Morgan who point and laugh, and, you get tweets and I get tweets from people saying, man up, that incredible, meaningless, man up, and you're not a real man, and all of that stuff. But it's certainly better than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think definitely people can name more people who talk about it. I was talking about this today. Like, if you go back, like, I had my full-blown breakdown. I know that's not a medical term, but that's still the best word, I think, for how I felt when everything just sort of went wrong at once when I was about mid-20s. And the people I had in my head then with mental health problems, public figures, were people who'd ended up taking their own lives because it wasn't really talked about. Yeah. So it gave it some sort of tragic inevitability. Whereas I feel like we are in a better culture, and people moan about, almost see it as like a celebrity fad or something, don't they? And it's utterly ridiculous. I mean, we are in a celebrity culture, so obviously the people you hear about with it are celebrities, because by their nature, celebrities are people who are well known.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting there. I think we're getting there with the conversation. But I still feel the conversation is only the first step. But also, I still feel there's a lot of stigma around, and it's just shifting and taking different forms. And yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know where I am sometimes. I'm sometimes making up excuses. Like if I can't do something for my mental health, I will still sometimes pull the flu card or it's easier to say food poisoning than to say, oh, I'm feeling really scared / sad or whatever it is. Yeah.
I love your new book, Notes on a Nervous Planet. I could have devoured it in a day, but I took my time with it. I read it over 3 days because I knew I was going to dig it so much. I've given it away. I've given my copy away to my therapist, a brilliant guy called Chip, who I'll tell you about off air. But we were just talking. We've been talking a lot in my sessions about kind of Twitter and my Twitter addiction and my worry about my kids, where it's going to be.
Do you think it is an addiction? Is that how you feel with Twitter?
Yeah. Totally. And we've been talking about it a lot, and both of our fears. He's a really bright bloke, and he's into his addictions. And we, both afraid. This is like we just put the key in the lock in terms of social media and the internet and stuff. We haven't even opened the door yet to see what's on the other side. And I'm terrified about how it's going to affect my kids. They're 8 and 6 at the moment, but it will affect them. So I gave Chip a copy of the book. I said, look, I've just finished this today, man. You need to read this and let me know what you think, because it ties in with a lot of things. And inspired by this book, I've come off. Hello, Catherine.
Hello. You have got tortilla chips.
Yeah.
I was joking. All the best foods are triangular, aren't they?
She's the best, isn't she?
Yeah.
This is why I'm not letting her go anywhere. She's sticking with me. But you talk a lot about social media in this book, and about how it affects how we look at ourselves and how we interact with ourselves and with other people around us.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I've recognised Twitter as an addiction. You know, the same way I couldn't stop taking cocaine because I hated myself. So I'd get a line of cocaine and I would do it and I would feel good. And then a few minutes later, I think, oh God, what have I done? I hate myself. I'm going to do it again. It's a cycle. It's the same, exactly the same for me with Twitter. Doing a tweet for me is like doing a hit of coke. And I get a little thing and I go, I've got to check how many likes and how many retweets.
It's real dopamine rush can be, you know.
Yeah.
And then the neuroticness, and it's never quite enough, is it? It's
No.
never enough. And so I think if you at the basic, most simple level, if you class an addiction as something you're doing, like you know you don't really want to be doing, but you're still doing, and you can't help yourself doing it, and it's getting in the way of things, and it's having a negative effect, then that's addiction, isn't it? And I think, you know, it might be a low level addiction. It's not going to give you liver disease, but it's still addictive.
Yeah, very much so. And as soon as I finished your book, I came in the next day to Catherine and said, man, I'm not digging Twitter because I get very emotional about the tweets on there. And I said, so I've deleted it from my phone. I've deleted the app. We've blocked the website from my phone and Facebook. That wasn't such a big a deal for me. But so I can't do Twitter on my phone. And Kath has put in a code so that I can't download any more apps. And the turning point for me, Matt, was I was out with my boys. I was out with my young.
Did you stage an intervention?
No, he asked me to. The times I've suggested it, he's always gone, well, let me think about it. It's a case of being ready.
I was out with my youngest, and he was climbing a wall, and I was firefighting, right? I was arguing with someone who'd had terminal cancer and had been cured, and had totally misinterpreted something I'd said as a dig at him, when actually it was perhaps a clumsily worded attempt to connect with another human being. And so I'm firefighting this, and I'm getting very upset, and I'm getting angry and defensive, and my kid's on this wall going, Daddy, Daddy, look at me. And without even looking at him, angrily I went, not now, son, I'm busy. And the shame that I felt, because I thought, I'm not, and I still couldn't stop arguing. And it was I just finished that book, and that's when I went to Kath and said, you've got to block this. There is some good in Twitter. I've met you through Twitter. I've met some wonderful people around the world in Twitter. But mainly it's not great, is it?
No. I think a lot of I think it's not good. I feel like, the American president probably wouldn't be the American president without it. I feel that it's out of all the social media forms, and I think there's problems with all of them, I think Twitter is run on negativity and divisiveness and anger. And within 5 minutes, people talk a lot about echo chambers and stuff, but what I think is, even if you're just following carefully selected people who are just like you, which may or may not be a bad thing, within 5 minutes you'll find something to be offended by, because they're being offended by something. So they're linking to Piers Morgan or whoever it is and getting irate about it, and before you've even thought about getting out of bed, you've got something to be really angry about. Your chest is going, and then maybe you take the bait and you type the tweet, and that anger sort of radiates from you into the tweet, and then it comes back at you. And what I start to realise is, because for ages I was arguing with people who are the opposite of me. 2016, when the world started going a bit wrong and everyone was arguing, you'd argue with some person with a flag avatar in Louisiana or wherever, and you'd be thinking, I'm the opposite of this person. But actually, politically you might be, but emotionally you're just reflecting each other, aren't you? That anger, from outer space, it's just a load of hot energy these humans are creating, of pointless anger at each other.
I love that. If you've read Reasons to Stay Alive, this is a similar kind of format. It is an unofficial sequel, I guess, in that some of the chapters are really short, and you have a brilliant chapter on about how to get out of bed.
Oh yeah, in
the morning.
Yes, and roughly it's number one, you wake up. Number two, you grab your phone. Number three, you scroll social media for 72 minutes. Number 4, you sigh. Number 5, you get out of bed. Or alternatively, you can miss steps 2 to 4. And I was doing that literally, it's like it was 72 minutes. Sometimes that was an underestimate. I could just lie there. And what I find is if it's by your bed and you're waking up at a silly time, you'll just have a little check. And
I do that.
And then you sort of awake. So what I try and do, I don't do it every night, but what I try and do is I just charge my phone in the kitchen now, and it's that tiny little thing, but at least I have to go down and act like a human being and have breakfast and open the fridge and maybe get some sustenance and get a little bit in tune with my old circadian rhythms or whatever they are.
I make a real effort, because I'm not living with my kids at the moment, I make a real effort, and this has been going on a couple of months, of partly because of moments like that with my boy, not now I'm busy.
How do you sleep, Ian? Do you sleep?
Not brilliantly, no.
I mean, the job can't help.
No, well, I get home about 2, and I listen to the radio for a bit, and I might read for a little bit, and then I normally by about 3:30 I'm asleep. But I'm not sleeping very well at the moment because of this divorce, because I'm a few weeks away from buying a house, and I'm terrified of the money and all of this stuff. So my sleep is awful at the moment. Awful. I've got an eye mask. That helps.
Yes,
that helps. Yeah. But I find when I go and see my kids, I've made a real effort. I don't always do it, but I'm getting better, of leaving my phone in the glove compartment of my car. So it's not even on me. So I go in the house, or we go out to the park, and I haven't got the phone with me. So it means I'm there. I'm present. I'm not even getting emails or texts or anything like that. I'm present. How are you, Kath, with your kid? Your relationship with social media is slightly different.
Yeah, no one's bothered about arguing with me.
But I am.
You're very friendly, though.
I try to keep it.
Hang on. What exactly?
I mean, me and Ian, we sort of like, you remain a degree of sort of professionalism.
I occasionally go. I occasionally go, and I immediately feel guilty about it. But I try to. I try not to go off on there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I try.
Because once you cross that line, you're in it, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're down the rabbit hole.
Do you like winding people up, though?
I am naturally argumentative.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. I grew up in quite an argumentative household. It wasn't majorly dysfunctional, but it was a lot of heated debates. And I am quite argumentative, and there's a lot to be sort of angry about in the world, and there's lots of arguments just sort of dangling in front of your head. But I'm very defensive. My worst trait is that I'm actually quite opinionated, but combined with quite a thin skin.
Yes, there we go. I recognise that.
It's like you want one or the other. I'd love to just be, and I see them as people who can just swagger on there, say their thing, they get a hell of a load of, BS thrown back at them, and they don't respond. And then we've got the next thing.
We'll take a quick break. 0344 499 1000 if you want to give us a call. Matt's going to have his crisps and chocolate like a good boy. But you're welcome to give us a call if you want. I'll tell you what as well, because I tweeted you. I remember ages ago there was a young lady on Twitter saying, "I really want Matt Haig's book, Reasons to Stay Alive, but I can't afford it." So I just sent her a message saying,
very kind.
I said, "I'll buy it for you." She was a young woman. I thought it's helped me, and I've given my copy of this away to my therapist. I tell you what we do. We haven't got any books to give away, but if someone nice phones in, and I use that term very loosely, I will send you a copy. I will pay for a copy from Amazon, from Big Green Bookshop. That's where I will pay for it, and I will get you a copy sent out of my own pocket, because I think it's a cracking read, and it's very rarely is there books or albums these days, as far as I'm concerned, that I enthuse about and really want people to listen to or read. So if you want a copy, one person only, guys. Let's not get carried away, for goodness sakes. I spent all of that jungle money. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, the 21st
So nice to see you, man.
Dialogue, debate, and
It's a pleasure. Well, that's very kind. And I know we have I know we have a crossover of people. I'm going to talk about the people coming. Let me write this down so I forget. The people coming to your shows. All the tweets you get. They're all so lovely. Was it someone came from Germany the other day?
Someone came from Pakistan.
Now that's a real deal.
We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
But I just feel like, well,
Got it at Selco.
I don't know what to feel about it. When I think of that, people give me wasabi peas because I talk about wasabi.
I used to speak to Mum every Wednesday.
But I know what you mean. To me, it would feel like a lot of... We have people not coming quite as far as that, but we've done shows in Brighton and someone's come from Scotland.
Ireland.
When Ireland people go... And for a while, it made me really uncomfortable. But actually, it's lovely. It's like, you know, I've travelled to America to see my favourite band.
Don't leave talking
It's
to your
that
family
kind of
until it's
thing.
too
People
late.
have a connection with you.
themselves.
Yeah.
You want to be
So,
an organ donor and find out what they want to.
so I think it's...
Book events are so weird because they're booking from an event. Like, I mean, when you're talking to a crowd of people, it's kind of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Whereas as a writer, it's a bit the opposite of what you...
The World Cup that keeps on giving.
And you say that the signing queue is really long
From Russia now.
Really long, but they were really having long shots. And like we kept them missing a train and then missing the next
The
train.
World Cup continues on ITV.
People being nice sometimes.
This is the sound of a fun day out. With the sharks at Sea Life.
Oh, wow.
Days out are even better when
Oh,
they're
there you
on.
go.
There they are.
With you. With British Gas
Supposed to be
Rewards,
at
you
school,
can
eh?
enjoy 50% off top UK attractions. British Gas Rewards. Join today. Terms and date exclusions apply.
You must be shattered.
It doesn't matter how our customers
alright.
feed back
I'm
to
just a
us,
bit
but
sort
it
of
matters
like
that we listen,
in
which
the-
is
in
why
the-
we've added
it's
the
been
new
2
Ford Transit
years.
Courier to the
How
Transit
much
range.
longer have you
It's still
got
as hard-working,
of this?
versatile and
It's not
reliable as the rest of the
helpful.
Transit
It's not-
range, but is
it's not
now
kind of
available with a
madness,
new
yeah, that's the
optional
thing.
6-inch colour touchscreen,
Celebrity,
voice
sure,
control,
but it's-
DAB
it's
and sat
still by
nav.
my
So
standards,
whether you're
it's
delivering
kind of
sourdough to
just
Swindon,
talking
T-shirts
about
to
yourself
Tooting,
all
or doing plumbing in Perth,
It's
the Transit
healthy.
Courier
No
will
one's
carry
gonna feel
your
sorry for you,
business
are they?
further.
You know,
When
it's not
business
like, oh,
demands,
poor
we
him,
deliver
he
at
booked me out.
Ford.co.uk.
number one book.
Ford.
Yeah.
Together, we go further.
Take a trip into the alternate reality of late night radio.
I think I'm in something like the Matrix, and so are you.
The late night alternative
Hello, hello.
with Iain Lee
Is there anybody out there?
on Talk Radio.
Hello.
See, there are nice. You've got Matt Haig here and his new book, Notes on a Nervous Planet. I keep looking at it because I always call it Notes from a Nervous Planet. Where did you get the title from? Explain that to the listener that may have not read it yet.
Well, the key word is notes. I thought if I put notes in the title, that frees me up to write any old thing in there. Put lists in there, shopping lists, you know. I love tiny chapters. I see no shame in easy reading. You know, the reader I always have in mind is myself at 24 when I was too ill to read anything. And I always think, is there a way of just sort of firing some words into my head of that sort of brain? And so, yeah, Notes on a Nervous Planet. I like it because it's got a lot of N's in it. Alliteration. There we go. There's your English primary school lesson of the day. Yeah, I don't know. And Notes on Nursing, that was Florence Nightingale.
Right.
You got Bill Bryson, obviously, Notes
Yeah.
from a Small Island. And, yeah, I just like notes.
You get nice people coming, like we do with the Rabbit Hole events. You get nice people
I do. They're
coming to
nice.
your events. There's always lovely tweets of very happy, slightly nervous-looking people.
I think there's an overlap with us.
I think there is. Oh, definitely. And you were telling us that you've had. Do you get a lot of people coming on their own to your shows?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Did tonight, yeah.
Because we have
We do,
that,
yeah.
and people always say, I'd come, but I don't want to come on my own. And we just go, look, we know that at least half the audience is going to be single. They're going to be people coming on their own, and it's cool. And you can sit down and talk to them if you want. If that fills you with fear, you can sit quietly at the back and then leave. You know, it's all. But yeah, that's great. I think that you get that.
I think there's a link between radio and books in that they're both kind of intimate. I mean, you know, people feel like you can really bond with someone. Like, you know, obviously you're putting your private self into the words of a page and they're reading that you generally read in private, don't you? But radio's a very sort of private, intimate.
Yeah, it's brain to brain, isn't it?
Brain, yeah. So people feel like close to you, don't they? And yes, but it is.
You know, it's all. But yeah, that's great. I think that you get that.
I think there's a link between radio and books in that they're both kind of intimate. I mean, you know, people feel like you can really bond with someone. Like, you know, obviously you're putting your private self into the words of a page and they're reading it. You generally read in private, don't you? But radio's a very sort of private, intimate.
Yeah, it's brain to brain, isn't
Brain
it?
to brain, yeah. So people feel like close to you, don't they? And yes, but it is strange when people know you and think they know you, and you must get this. So I'm preaching from a mountaintop. I was just sort of saying, hello, stranger.
Have you learned how to react when people say, God, that chapter in that book, The Humans, it spoke to me and it meant something, and then you did that book that saved my life? And have you learned how to react to those things?
And for a while with Reason to Stay Alive, I was really bad as well. I felt a bit of a fraud because I was, the book was doing really well. I was getting lots of emails and stuff. And I was in the middle of a massive anxiety bout. I was hardly leaving my house. I was just walking around in circles. Heart palpitations, everything, and people saying, "Oh, your book really helped me." I was like, "Why can't my own advice help me?" You know. So I felt a massive. I got over it, and the whole point of Reason to Stay Alive isn't that I'm preaching from a mountaintop. I was just sort of saying what happened to me and how I went from suicidal to not so suicidal. But I still can't process it. I don't know what to do. I can't make eye contact with someone if they're sort of telling me that, and there's part of me that doesn't quite believe it. But which is as close as I get to meditation. Whenever I try meditation, I almost, and I know it's stupid, but I feel like I'm failing at meditating. I feel like, and they say, I'll just allow the thoughts in. And I was like, no, but there's too many thoughts. I'm coming last in the Olympics of meditation. I'm doing it wrong. I'm failing at meditation. I feel rubbish about myself. What do I do? Yoga massively helps. If I'm on the brink of anxiety, and I don't do proper yoga. I just go onto YouTube.
Right.
And there's some nice American women, and they just do yoga for anxiety.
So you don't go to a class or anything? Because I've tried the class.
No, I can't. I'm not. That would just tighten me up, just being in a class. I've done one exercise class in my life, and it was a nightmare.
I've done a couple of yoga classes. A handful. I'm not a member of that gym anymore, but a handful. And it would be like 50 women, and I would be the only bloke in there, and they would all seem to know what to do, and they could balance perfectly, and I'm sweating and farting. Oh, it's horrendous. But so you do it on YouTube?
Yeah, I do all that at home. And my daughter she still needs someone in the room with her on a night, because she's such a sort of worried about the dark and all the normal child things. But she likes the actual computer light being on.
Right.
So I put it, and she likes the yoga videos because it's a sort of gentle sound. So I put it on, and I get her to she sort of is lulled into a state of relaxation.
Oh, that's great.
Yoga tutors from Austin, Texas.
Put your headphones on. We have a couple of calls. There should be some there. If you follow that cable round as well, there'll be a little volume control. I don't know who these people are. If they're for you, if they're for us, let us find out. Let's go to Ellie. Good evening, Ellie.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hello.
Are you going to say hello to Matt, or should we just ignore him and pretend he's not here? How you doing, Ellie? You all right?
Your books sound very interesting.
Thanks, Kath.
And I'm just wondering, have you read any Eckhart Tolle?
Any?
Eckhart Tolle.
No.
Yeah, I'm aware, but I haven't. But I think you'd recommend him, would you?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I know the name Ellie, but I don't know. I've not read any. Who is he? What is he?
I think he's living in Canada at the moment. He's moved around the planet, doing his talks, and he's just kind of worked on himself and worked through a lot of pain into a place where he's like pain-free.
Yeah.
And he's not like adhering to any particular religion, but he takes like good sayings from the different religions that are deep and meaningful and is timeless, and it just makes a lot of sense.
It sounds good.
Called A New Earth, yes.
He sounds good. And Ellie, how are you doing? How's life going for you?
Well, I've been suffering anxiety and depression over the years.
Yeah.
And I can feel it when it comes on, like the anxiety, like a sickness.
Have you got any techniques that you yourself find useful with that stuff?
Well, I try yoga as well, and try and meditate too, and go for walks.
Walks are good. My Zen power walks. I love a long walk, sometimes with the dog, sometimes without, sometimes with an audio book or podcast, sometimes with just my thoughts. Man, it gets the creative juices. Constantly, I haven't done it for a while, but texting Kath going, right, we're going to do this and next week, and we're going to...
I'll get a list like this and think, oh, he's been on a walk.
On the walk? Because it does, it's stupid. Well, Ellie, listen, thank you for your call.
Thank you, Ellie.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Cheers, bye-bye. Let's go to Louise. Hello, Louise.
Hi, how are the three of you doing?
All right.
We're all right. How are you doing, Louise?
Hey, good. Yeah, not too bad today. Not too bad. I'm just ringing in to say about Matt's book.
You want me to buy you a book?
Well, I actually wouldn't mind.
Oh, you're fine. No, I'll do it. I said I would, and I will do it because I think everyone should read this book. It's a cracking one.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. But I want to say about the reasons to stay alive.
Yeah.
I got that given to me by a close friend. I haven't read it just yet because I want to read it all in one go.
Oh.
Or, as quick as I can, if you know what I mean. I don't want to start and stop it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't recommended to him, but he heard about it from you.
Who, from me?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay, good.
He found it absolutely amazing. This is why it was given to me. I suffered depression. I've got the addiction issues now, but I'd suffered from very bad depression from my mid-teens, hospitalised in my early 20s, due to depression.
Mm-hmm.
So he felt that, this could help me, so he has passed it on to me. I think he's passed it on to different members of his family.
It is one of those, but I had a few copies. I had a few copies of Reasons to Stay Alive, and I just kept handing them out and saying, "I think you'll like this. I think you'll like this." I think we bought it for someone on the show once as well. I think you'll like this, and it's the same with this one, Notes on a Nervous Planet. It's you can devour it very quickly. It's a book. I'm gonna buy another copy for me because I want to keep going back to it, and it just it explains. It's kind of like it's giving you instructions, which it isn't. But it just helped clarify a few of my thoughts on certain things that weren't making my life any better. If you get my lizard.
Like, I can't speak for him, but I think, the way I picked it up was, he passed it out to a couple of other people just to help them understand mental health.
Louise, listen, send me your address and I'll get a copy of that book sent over.
Thanks, Louise, as well.
Fantastic. Matt, no, thank you, because your book sounds absolutely brilliant, and I'm so chuffed Iain's willing to do this for the next one, so
he's a very kind man. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. You say I'm a kind man. I don't know if we go to this caller.
Who is it?
I'm going to do it. So let's see how kind I am. It's Ken in Newcastle. Good evening, Ken.
Good evening, Ian. It's a long time since I spoke to you.
It certainly has. You said you're never going to call me again because I was going to rot in hell. Ken, what would you like to?
No.
What would you like to say to Matt Haig?
Yes, I'm saying this for consideration. In yoga, my wife used to take part in yoga a long, long time ago, and that's everybody's choice. Yeah. But in yoga, they call upon a demon called Om. They gather in circles in some situations, and they call out Om.
Yeah.
Om.
That's
and
what
they're calling a demonic spirit into the midst. It is demonic, and it will destroy you.
Okay, right.
Very dangerous.
I don't sit in a circle when I do it, and I don't actually say that. I just sort of listen to the nice American woman saying you might be stressed, so stretch out your hamstrings and stuff. No demons involved.
I think you're doing it wrong.
Ken, you're not suggesting.
I can assure you, it's demonic.
You're not suggesting, Ken, that simply by doing the downward dog, Matt Haig is going to go to hell.
That'd be a great film.
Be entered by a spirit.
I am suggesting to you
there's a corpse
in
pose,
a love
actually.
and concern for your life. You know, much of the depression that's in the world today is caused by demonic oppression. It's not all caused by demonic oppression, but much of it is.
Yeah. And you don't mention the demonic depression in either of your books, Matt. Why did you deliberately leave that out?
That's the third book.
Is it?
Reasons to exercise your demons. But exercise, exorcism. Yeah.
Well, Ken, thanks for adding literally nothing to this.
If I can just say this, Ian, if you don't mind.
Well,
Jesus can set us free from our problems in the mental. There's power in the name of Jesus. He loves us, died for our sins, and offers us freedom.
I think Jesus would be okay with yoga, though. I think he'd be alright.
There's power in Jesus, young man. Give Jesus a try. Read your Bible. Call upon the name of Jesus to help you understand.
Thanks so much.
He wants to help you.
Thank you so much for your call, Ken. I look forward to the next one.
Bless you all.
Thank you very much indeed.
I do get some of that. I've had that sometimes in events. So.
Really? Actually in events?
Yeah. There's someone early on with Reasons to Stay Alive, people trying to sort of save you and saying it's all because you haven't read the Old Testament and stuff.
Wow. Ken is one of those gentlemen. He's a real person. He hasn't called me for ages.
No, because you're the Antichrist. Literally, that's what he called you.
He did call me the Antichrist. That was the last thing. And he stands on the streets of Newcastle with a megaphone, preaching the gospel, which is fine. It's great if it works for you. Unfortunately, it also makes him homophobic and Islamophobic and all of that. But it is.
I love that about calling the demon on.
I hadn't even considered that. A demonic thing, and it is. And I haven't got a problem with religion. If it works for people, then it's groovy, man. You go for it. It doesn't work for me, but
I'm kind of agnostic anyway.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm an atheist. I'm open to anything, but it's just I think maybe I'm not open to demonic yoga. I don't think.
But it's talk like that worries me in terms of mental health. You hear it in a lot of certain parts of Africa. That young people who are schizophrenic or depressed or bipolar, it's considered possession.
Yes,
and they get exorcised.
Well, we've still got that language, haven't we? We still talk about battling our demons.
Yeah,
that's where it comes from, and we still have that degree of shame around mental health, which stems from that time of superstition, and it's where homophobia stems from and everything, isn't it? It's fear of something different, and people are scared. People are rightly scared about mental health, but it doesn't excuse the sort of silly stigmatising. Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK.
No to line 4, please. It's Alison calling in.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking.
I'm a Titanic.
Are you?
Open up your mornings and take a brilliant break with Mike Graham on Talk Radio with the Sun Holiday Shop. Great value breaks all year round. Listen to Talk Radio every weekday morning from 10 for 3 hours.
Well, thank you. That was a very tame Ken from Newcastle. I really, because he hasn't phoned in for about 6
Don't miss Mike Graham every weekday morning from 10 on Talk Radio with the Sun Holiday Shop. Great value breaks all year round. Go to thesun.co.uk/holiday shop.
I would never put anyone
who wants
horrible
from
through.
their
I mean, you can handle
For
Ken.
everyone who wants to binge watch box sets all day
that
long.
uncommon, is
For
it?
everyone who's been stung by unexpected broadband price hikes. Talk has the because our faster fibre comes with our promise of no
out in the
price
world,
rises
I
and
attract
includes our
children, which is
all-new
wonderful.
Wi-Fi hub
Children
with our fastest and strongest, most reliable signal yet. All for just £25.50 a month for 18 months. Search TalkTalk Fibre. TalkTalk for everyone. £30 setup fee, contracts and conditions apply.
When it comes to a great atmosphere, you need to watch the game in a great drinking pub. Liz Kamara here, Gary, and I've got something unbelievable to tell you. I brewed my own beer. It's called Unbelievable, and it's available in participating drinking pub clubs. Download the drinking season ticket app and you get a free wine plus enjoy 10% off selected drinks during football matches at 800 Green King season ticket book.
I bet it was almost even stranger coming out, wasn't it?
Coming out was horrendous.
Maserati.
Well,
But you need an SUV. Why not have both?
When I came
Levante,
out, I'd started
the
taking drugs
Maserati
again.
of SUVs.
After years of not taking
For
drugs.
£56,690 on the road.
For many
now
reasons, but
available
one
with
of them was
0%
just
finance.
the
Search
intensity of
Maserati.
those 4 weeks.
Based on PCP sales only until the 31st
intensity
of
of those
August
4
2018. Minimum 20%
And then
deposit,
just
24-month term, 10,000
the
miles per
wall of
annum, subject
noise
to
that
status,
greets you for the
participating
next
dealers
few
only.
weeks as you come
Maserati
out,
Financial
Have
Services.
you ever had a story
Cast your
about me
mind
in
back
the
and
press?
think.
In
Were
20
you ever
years of doing
contacted out
this,
of the
and then
blue for a
suddenly
pension review?
I'd say on the show, oh well,
You
I'm
advised
getting
to move
divorced
your
and
work or
I'm
personal
struggling
pension
with this.
into
Anyway,
a
let's go
SIP,
to our first call.
self-invested
It's
personal
in the
pension.
paper.
Yes, I was.
You could be due
confession,
thousands
marriage,
if you were
all this
missold.
stuff.
Money
So it's a
regrants
shock.
are
So
trusted
yeah, I had a
claims
little while going out
specialists
and,
in pension and
doing stuff,
investment
but
mis-selling.
I'm back
They'll
off
manage
it
the whole
again,
claim
so
for
right.
you on a no
But it's
payout,
weird,
no fee basis,
Weird.
so you can't
Listen to
lose.
it. But I did it
Text
'cause I needed the
WIN
money
to
to-
85077.
Afternoons with Jamie East on Talk Radio.
Embark on an afternoon odyssey into a virtual adult playground broadcast at the intersection of the near future and the reimagined past.
Eastworld with Jamie East. Tomorrow afternoon from 1 on Talk Radio.
A world of adventure. Mad props to the West Wittering posse.
A world of fantasy.
Is there anybody out there? Is there anything out there?
A world of age-inappropriate footwear.
How much flack have I had this week for the clothes I wear?
Eastworld with Jamie East. Tomorrow afternoon from 1 on Talk Radio.
I was going to have been a nappy.
Listen without consequence.
Did you enjoy it?
The radio show.
No, you hated it.
The owls are not what they seem.
Do you or have you ever watched Twin Peaks?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
We could be dreaming and meeting each other in our dreams.
On Talk Radio.
A couple of nice things on Twitter. Talking about Twitter. India Knight, I don't know who India Knight is, but she just tweeted about the diver, John Volanthen, one of the divers who rescued the Thai kids. And she just described him at the airport. Diver John Volanthen coming back from Thailand in his specs and Shaun the Sheep T-shirt, and his colleague embarrassed by the cameras. What a great image that is. And then I found another thing on Twitter earlier on today. Ash Sarkin. Did you see that with Piers Morgan? Yes. Oh man, I'll play it after 11.
Brilliant.
It was, you know, and
I'm now a communist after this.
Well, I'm tempted. And it was on Good Morning Britain, a show I go on from time to time. And I've met Piers a couple of times, and I have to say, always very, very charming to me. As you know, as people are very charming. But he can be obnoxious for the sake of being obnoxious. I think I can say that without losing work. And he's having a go at this young woman who's protesting against Trump. Well, why weren't you protesting against Obama? I suppose you supported Obama. I'm a communist, for God's sakes!
Calls him an idiot. It was like live Twitter. He was going off and not listening, wasn't he?
No, and he wasn't responding at all to what she was saying. So that was his only argument.
Yeah.
Was an argument that didn't apply to her.
Yeah. And Susanna's
going, why didn't you march?
I mean, Susanna is one of the heroes
good.
Of our age, isn't she?
She's so understated. She said to him, you can protest, you can disagree with things and not protest, and you can do these things, Piers. There are levels. Yeah. She's great, Susanna Reid, one of the nicest human beings in the world. What is she doing with that guy?
I don't think she's with him.
Oh, are they not?
No.
I think I've misunderstood.
Television.
I misunderstood TV.
Oh no, you shattered my dream. I thought it was like Jason and Kylie.
You mean Philip and Holly?
Tess is bearing up so well.
Oh God, that's
awful.
I tell you another thing I'm doing on Twitter, and I caught myself. I'm not using. So I'm off it during the day. I check it when I wake up. I check it when I come into work. I tweet about the show because you need it for this. But I was thinking as well. Also, I can tweet. I can help out people who wouldn't necessarily get help. It's like when I said, I'll order that book from Amazon. No, I won't. I'm going to order it from Big Green Bookshop because we've had the guy on whose name escapes me. Is it Simon? Simon. Yeah. We've had him on the show. I've been in his shop and done a show. It's where we did a lovely, pretentious piece of performance art where I got an audience of about 30 people and I played the radio in the dark for an hour. Just retuned a radio, stopped on a station, listened to it for a few minutes, then went to another station. Oh, it was wonderful. In Simon's shop. In Wood Green.
I did an event in Wood Green with Simon, and I'll mention it here because it was quite comical. This was before Reason to Stay Alive. I wrote a book called The Humans, and we were doing the event. And it was in the back room of a pub.
Yeah.
And there was about 9 people in the audience, because that's sort of mega crowds I was attracting. And we were thinking, we're going to make double figures here, because someone came through the door, and she just said, right, as the event was underway, am I in the right place for Alcoholics Anonymous?
In the back room of a pub?
Yeah, it was actually the pub. That's what made it through. And we said no, but anyway.
Well, he's one of the good guys. So instead of tweeting the links to Amazon, which I always do, I'm going to tweet the links to his shop. You know, if people want to find, if people go, well, I don't want to order from this guy, I'll never have it. They can type it into Amazon themselves. It's just small things like that where I think maybe I can make a little bit of a difference. I hate Twitter. I really don't dig it.
Yeah.
The book is Notes on a Nervous Planet. It's a cracking read. You're about halfway through it, Catherine.
Yeah, you can see my
Is that yours? Is that your copy there? Yeah. Oh, flipping it! Look.
Okay.
Don't lose a page.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the page because it's interesting to know the boring bit where you stop reading.
I got fell asleep.
What was lovely is you've got some tweets in there from some of your followers.
Yeah.
And the joy of... Because they would read the book and go, oh my God, I'm in Matt Haig's new book, this is brilliant, and do a little tweet about it. It's delightful.
I like to be inclusive. I think, but one thing about the internet age is that it's brought writers and other people down from their lofty perch and they can just sort of... back to the campfire and just sort of talk on a level. And some people are snobby about it, but I test out titles, content, all kinds of things, and I like that. I like the interaction with readers. It's just the other stuff, the sort of political squabbling, the neurotic checking, everything. It's almost like we're putting our emotions and our personalities on this sort of stock market of ourselves, this emotional stock market, and the numbers and everything start to matter, whether it's followers or how many people shared things. And I still can't do it where I put an update or a tweet out there and I have to check that it's getting a response. Because I can't leave something with like no retweets. That'd just be terrible. And I've really got to watch that.
So you don't follow your own suggestions then?
Well, I'm getting better. The reason I wrote this book, Ian, wasn't because I had all the answers. It was because I was getting into a mess and a pickle.
Right.
And I wanted to understand why, and what is therapeutic for me, and what's been increasingly therapeutic, is understanding how my mental states aren't it's not just like a random lottery of the mind. It's made worse and better by interactions, how I interact, how I live. We all understand that about physical health. We all understand that lifestyle impacts our physical health, but we don't talk about mental health in the same way. And so it's not, obviously I'll cut down on the summoning my yoga demons, but there's other stuff that I do that bring bad stuff, and generally it's not yoga, and it's more like weekends ruined because I've said something stupid online. And I once said, and it was before Kanye West said it, so I think I'm a bit of a trend.
Wowzers, here we go.
I said, nothing Trump related, but I said anxiety is my superpower.
Remember it, yeah. I said you got flack for that.
I got flack for that. And I wasn't meaning anxiety's great, everyone should have anxiety. I wasn't meaning mine's a little low-level anxiety. I was actually in a state of anxiety, having panic. I know, I had panic disorder for 3 years, so I do know what I'm talking about. I was meaning that, it gives you that sort of sense, when there's a point in recovery where you're sort of hyper alert and you sort of feel, and I was trying to reframe it in my mind, because one of the tricks I do for myself, and what got me over panic attacks, was reframing it, because you start having a panic attack and then you're panicking about the panic attack. So I almost pretend I want to have a panic attack, and see it like a test,
Yeah.
My own psychological bush tucker trial or whatever. Which I won't compare to an actual one. But, I just sort of say, come in, panic, come in. And, say, okay. And obviously it takes a bit of work to be like that. But the thing, I realised the thing that was keeping me having these mega long panic attacks was I was trying to escape them.
Right.
So it's always about accepting.
So what were people saying about your tweet then? Because Twitter you're not allowed a mistake on Twitter. You tweet an ill-conceived idea or half a thought.
I certainly do.
This is why I funny. But then that's it. Then that's your thing. That's your thing for the next year. But but remember when he tweeted this?
People are still off of. There's some book bloggers. I once did a stupid tweet about book bloggers. I don't know why I chose to pick on them. They're not exactly, the oppressors of the universe. But I said something about book bloggers always writing positive reviews, and it's because they just want free books. But still, I totally distance myself from that former comment. But people who still don't talk to me from one tweet in 2013. But anyway, there you go. But it's weird how it's just sort of set in stone.
Yeah. You were going to say something.
The other thing is about Twitter is, and I kind of watch what you do sometimes, people like me. But I've done it as well. in the early days when I didn't really understand what it was and didn't really understand that I was playing with fire.
Yeah.
You put something that someone misunderstands, it's always going to be your fault for not being clear enough to everyone else. Well, you should have said it like that. And there'll always be someone who'll explain to you what you mean. That guy who was explaining to me the other day your act.
Oh, God, yeah. He was telling Catherine what my act is.
And then when he got caught out, he got very hurt about it, saying that we'd duped him. Like, well, you started it. You started it.
Let's go to Reed. Good evening, Reed.
Hello.
Hello, Reed. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks, Reed. What you got for us?
Just the first time I've called it, and I just wanted to call in.
Hey, nice one. Is there any particular reason? Anything you want to say or do, or?
I just really wanted to talk to you, sir, about anything.
Well, okay. Well, I tell you what. Let me ask you. How is your life going?
It's okay. Not great, really. My granda passed away not that long ago.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry. How long ago was that?
It was Saturday night.
Oh, so that's fresh. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Were you close to him?
Yeah, very. Yeah, I think the whole family's very close to him.
Yeah, of course. And how are you? Forget the rest of your mum and dad and everyone else for a second. How are you doing? How are you feeling about all that?
I'm fine. Yeah, really. I've sort of got over it by now.
Okay. Well, may I offer a little bit of my experience with death?
Yeah, go ahead.
As I've got older, and I've still been lucky. I've still only lost a few people, but I've often thought that I've got over something very quickly, and then maybe at the funeral, or maybe 6 months later, or a year later, when I'm watching a film, there can just be it can catch me out later on, and I realised actually maybe I'm not as completely over it as I thought, and perhaps I was suppressing it. I'm not suggesting that's what's happened to you, Reed, but I'm just offering a heads up as an old man that just be prepared that maybe something else will pop out of you at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Anything else, Reed? Before I move on, because we've only got a couple of minutes left with Matt, and I should probably name his book again, just so people know what to buy.
No, that's it, thanks.
All right, mate. You give us a call any time, fella.
Okay, right.
Thank you, Reed. Ta-ta.
Talk to you later.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. What a nice young person there. Sometimes we get nice calls. Notes on a Nervous Planet, Matt Haig. So this is done.
Yeah.
How long ago did you finish this?
April.
Hey, flipping it. That
was the last edit. Because we wanted to keep it as up to date. And all that Cambridge Analytica stuff came up, and we wanted to put that in, and there was all kinds of different things we wanted to just keep it fresh.
So, okay, I thought if you'd finished in September, maybe you're kind of a bit bored of talking about it, but it's still...
Yeah.
Okay, so what is next? How does it work for you? I think I've asked you this before, but how does it work with you? Have you started the next book, or you got ideas?
Yeah, I can't write on book tour. I've got a deadline for the end of August, and I'm going to be so overdue with that. I am writing a children's book about a girl who's got telepathic powers, and she hears all the thoughts of animals. And I've got
your Christmas books, by the way. Man alive, they are. You've created traditions in our house now with those books. They've got to get dug out and read every year, man. So we love those.
Yeah, there's a character in those Christmas books called the Truth Pixie, and I've written a little story for younger people called the Truth Pixie.
Brilliant.
And I've also been writing some songs.
Oh yes. Now with the fella who was in Razorlight,
Andy Burrows,
and he was in the Ricky Gervais film, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I think he was in the band.
He's the drummer in the Ricky Gervais band, and he wrote some of those songs. I don't know if that's his proudest moment, but
it was. I'm going to be honest. It was a stinker of a film, and that's not any judgment on him. That film, yeah. I went to the premiere of it. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, I saw you've done something, and you got a record deal.
He was the one who came in the second album of Razorlight. So America, that was him.
Yep.
That was his wrote that. And he just contacted. Again, Twitter.
Yeah.
Good thing about Twitter here. He contacted me saying that he'd read his daughter, A Boy Called Christmas, and thought would be some sort of synergy. He probably didn't use that word. It's probably because I've got David Brent in my head now. But there was something there. So it was lovely because I was just writing these lyrics. It took me about 20 minutes a song, a bit different to writing a book.
Yeah.
And then later that day, he'd send me some phone recording of something he'd just done. And he's like 1970s Yellow Brick Road sort of piano melodic kind of stuff.
We've only got 30 seconds left, but in that 30 seconds, what's it like? Because writing is obviously a very solitary experience. What's it like working with someone else?
I don't think I'm very good at it generally,
Yeah.
but with him it was okay. Where I found it hard before is screenwriting. I've done some screenwriting. I worked a little bit on the first Paddington film as well.
Yeah.
I found that really hard because you're sort of like you've got to compete with a lot of sort of alpha people.
Yeah,
and get your
those writing rooms. It's a battleground. Matt, we're out of time. It's so lovely to see you, man. Thank you for making it. I know you've had a busy day and it's a rush. The new book is Notes on a Nervous Planet. You can get it from all your usual book supplies. Waterstones have got loads of lovely displays of it up and down the country. At Matt Haig 1 on Twitter, which I keep forgetting. We'll be back after the news. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Can we get our usual picture, please? Catherine, have you got your... Could you source it?
I'm closing the stairs.
Unbelievable behaviour.
Oh, so sorry.
Yay! and Newsnight as well tonight. They've finally put that. Trump's visit is not interrupting it enough.
Okay,
absolutely.
Hey, that's incredible, and it's so lovely to see all the good feedback and all the beautiful displays of the book everywhere. I'm so pleased.
Download, play, and stream around your home with incredible Wi-Fi from Sky Broadband. See Disney Pixar's Incredibles 2 out July 13th.
Then it kicks in and it's going down.
Should ask permission.
Yeah.
What was that? Basically saying, man up, you cunt.
Maybe it's all sorting through some
if he doesn't want depression, don't go to Spain.
If you're enjoying some you time.
Okay, thanks, Doctor.
What did you think of the book? Tell us that.
Your world isn't 9 to 5.
No, it's incredible.
So neither's ours.
That's
why you can renew your tax credits online,
Thank you, brother.
day or night.
We're always thrilled. Come and stand over here, please.
Visit gov.uk/manage tax credits now.
Cheese!
We're ready when you are.
And there's Mike Simmons onto the forecourt. Approaches the T-Rock, but picks out the Tiguan, looking at a 7-seater Tiguan all spaced out. He spies the Touareg, promising, but he's leaving it late. A quick exchange with the Volkswagen salesman, and yes, Mike Simmons is the proud owner of a brand new Volkswagen Touareg.
Yeah, and
an SUV event first to the 15th of July. Save £500 on top of existing offers when you test drive any SUV. Just make sure you get there before the final whistle.
Offer available on retail on the road price for Volkswagen.
Oh, him, where he's going. Yes. Oh, yes. Don't do that in front of the periscopic.
They'll all be over there waiting for you.
Lots of miserable people crying in the lobby of the hotel. Say, if we give you a hotel while we're on Periscope.
Across Europe coming together to get the job done. And the morning challenge of the tough, unruly grass facing him. That's like the local pub team.
See you later on, man. Take care.
He'll cut them down to
Righty
size
ho.
for the midday kickoff. Game over. Get your McCulloch lawnmower and other garden power tools at good DIY stores nationwide or at McCulloch.com. McCulloch, the power to get the job done.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Matt Hagman, you've got to love him.
Star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio on the hour news headlines.
With the latest, I'm Serena Farrow. A Labour MP who was suspended over historical online comments has quit the party, claiming he's been made to feel like a criminal. Jared O'Mara, who represents Sheffield Hallam, was recently reinstated, but isn't happy with the way an investigation was carried out. The party, though, insists it was handled with care. Donald Trump's being treated to an evening at Blenheim Palace in Oxfordshire on the first night of his official visit to the UK. Outside the stately home's grounds, loud protests against his trip have been taking place, and earlier people gathered close to the US ambassador's London residence to demonstrate against it. Ellen Patterson, the youth organiser in London for the Socialist Party and the Socialist Students, has been telling us why.
The reason that they're walking out is because he's a racist, sexist figure in society and they oppose his social views. But they're also walking out because he's offering no future for young people in the States.
This American also, who didn't want to be named, told Talk Radio he's sick of hearing people criticise Trump.
You can only listen to it so much. You can only hear the, oh, he's a racist. He says, listen, he represents this needs to change. We cannot have open borders. We cannot have ridiculous amounts of taxation and social welfare reform. We just can't have it.
In other news, a 98-page document setting out the Prime Minister's Brexit negotiating positions being released ahead of crunch talks with Brussels. It aims to guarantee pensions for British people who retire on the continent and avoid the need for customs border checks. Finally, it's claimed £27 billion has been wiped off Britain's property market since the start of the year. Zoopla says the average home fell by around £5.
Well, you and I...
Let's take a look at the weather then. Heavy showers will ease in England and Wales, leaving a dry night for most. Overnight as well, staying warm for many of us. Cooler though in northern Scotland.
Travel to the beat of a
Weeknight Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have...
Gotta love a bit of love. Thank you, Matt Hake. Always a nice vibe in the studio when he comes in. A really nice vibe. Let's get rid of that vibe. Let's invite Alan Caddick onto the show. Good evening, Alan.
I'm not happy.
Whoa! Whoa! Alan is down. What's the matter with you? Oh, Alan is down. What's the... Hang on a minute. I feel like I've written a classic reggae song from the 1970s. This song doesn't exist, but I've written it. Here it goes. Oh, Alan is down. What the matter with you? Oh, I'm doing like reggae. But imagine I'm like Carl Douglas or someone. Oh, if there are any reggae producers, if Lee Scratch Perry is listening, here's this. I'm going to give it to you. You go make a dub mix. Here we go. Just be quiet, Alan, because this could be big for me. It could be a big moment. This is my reggae crossover. Oh, Alan is down. What the matter with ya? Oh, Alan is down. What the matter with ya? Oh, Alan is down. What the matter with ya? His woman, she go run away.
Well, I wanted to ask Matt a question.
Go on then.
I wanted to ask Matt, is autism linked to mental health?
Oh, well, he's not a doctor, so he may not know, but I'm sure, I think everything is linked to mental health, Alan.
Yeah, because I want to fully understand my Asperger's syndrome fully.
Well, again, he's not a doctor.
But I wanted his opinion on it.
Okay, but that contradicts your previous question. He's not a doctor, so he wouldn't have been able to answer things like that.
Right.
Yeah, maybe go and see a doctor or Google it.
Google a nice book about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I could write my own book about myths of autism.
Oh, mate, I tell you, there would be so many people, including me. I would love to read a book by you, Alan, and that's not even me joking. That is genuine. I would love to read a book by A. Caddick.
Interesting. And so, how do I go? But the next thing is, how do I go about writing a book?
Now, Matt could have answered that question, actually.
Yes, he could have.
Let's go. Can we get Matt back? He could have. I don't know, man, because I've tried to write a book, Alan, and I've got about... After 4 years, I've got about 30,000 words. I'm still 50,000 words shy of a book. Enough hours, man. I don't know, because I've tried. Have you tried?
Well, I've tried. I've written a short story once.
Yeah. Oh, really?
A spoof James Bond story.
Is there any chance you could either send it to me or read it to me?
I can read you the opening paragraph.
Well, you've only written one paragraph?
No, because I can remember the opening paragraph.
Here we go. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Alan Caddick's Bond story.
Have you got the Bond music?
I have always got the Bond music to hand. You know me. Hang on a minute.
We need the gun battle first.
All right. Hang on a minute. Bond opening theme. Here we go. Here it comes. Here it comes. All right. This is it. Here it comes. It's an advert. 3, 2, 1. Here it comes. Here we go. Here it comes. It was
a cold, windy night in Shropshire. James Bond was lurking in a graveyard when suddenly he turned because he thought he heard something. He slowly holstered out his Walter PPK and turned round slowly. And then a voice said behind him, "I've been waiting for you, Mr. Bond." He turned around and saw Goldfinger standing in front of him. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I have come to take you out, but I am not alone." Then he came, as he was coming towards him, Knick-Knack, Tee-Hee, and Mayday was coming in other directions to ambush him. When suddenly he woke up, was it a dream or the beginning of a long nightmare?
Well, if he woke up, it was just a dream.
Well, was it the beginning of a long nightmare?
Well, it may have been the beginning of a short nightmare, but he woke up, so it ended.
No, but that was a pre-title sequence. There's no relation to the actual plot.
You idiot, of course! Ian, stop interrupting.
What was he doing loitering in a graveyard?
Because he was visiting his wife's grave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, very,
sad that, wasn't it?
Very macabre. Well, Alan, do you know what? It's a yes from me. I would, have you actually got it written, typed up?
I've got a hard copy at home.
Mate, you've got to get that to me. We have got to read that on the air. Please, please.
Okay, I'll dig it out and I'll send it, yeah.
Bless you, brother. Thank you, Alan. Take care, mate.
Thank you.
Ta-ta. There we go.
The classic dream awaken ending.
There's your video for tonight, guys. There's your video. Send that. Do we know, speaking of books, do we know has Gerard been in touch about the logbook?
No.
The logbook, for those new to the show,
I've abducted it.
It's a book which we are sending out to the listeners. We sent it out to Eben, was the first one, a couple of weeks ago, and Catherine and I don't want to look in it until New Year's Eve, and we want you to keep track of what is happening on the show for us. And we're trusting you to do it and to do it properly. Don't put swears in, because we might, kids might fill it in and stuff. So don't, but we're trusting you to put in what is happening in the show and nothing else, no fiction. But we sent it to Gerard last week. He'll have it by now. Yeah. He's not phoned up to say, "Oh, I've got it." And to be honest, Gerard is not a particularly regular caller, so I bet Gerard is Scott Mills. I bet he's Scott Mills, and next week Scott Mills is going to be doing the Scott Mills logbook. It's a lot of fun. So, Gerard, if you're listening, buddy, what the hell's our book, man? Let's go to Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan.
How you doing, Ian? You're all right, mate?
Very, very well, Jonathan, yes.
How was that owl attack? I see it was very stressful for you and you got through it okay.
It was a dark time, man. It was a dark time. I'm alright.
We're all through it now. We're feeling your pain. We're feeling your pain.
You weren't feeling the pain. That's the thing. Only I could actually feel that pain. But I appreciate your words of support, brother. Thank you so much.
Do you remember me though? Are you like this, man?
Sorry?
Threw me aside, took the piss out my alcoholism.
I remember this guy. I remember this guy. He's an arsehole. I can't understand what you're saying.
No.
I can't understand what you're saying.
We always got on.
No, we didn't, Jonathan. You're an obnoxious prick.
Not really.
Yeah, really.
I was never the one to make it personal.
Except everything you said was a personal criticism of me. Jonathan, how would you like to attack me this evening?
No, not at all. Ian, I've seen you come strong. You've been through a lot of stuff. And you're fine now. And it's respect for you now. It is respect. Okay. Always admired someone who's come through so much personal owl attacks and suicide attempts and the rest of it.
Well, I've never actually had a suicide attempt, but thanks. But you've always had respect for people who've come through owl attacks, have you? Well, that's great to know. I'm starting a survivors group for.
What was it? Snowy owl, brown owl. Which one?
I don't know, mate. I didn't see it.
Which one was she?
I don't know, mate.
Against?
I don't know, mate.
Take these owls on.
I don't know. It was behind me.
Donald Trump is coming into this country now.
He's in this country.
He needs to be aware of these owl attacks. We need to know what kind of owl.
Anyway, I'm starting a support group called OATS. That's Owl Attack Terror Support. And if you have been affected by any of you...
Where were you? I just wanted to know the area, because I don't want to go there no more,
It was a little lay-by. It was a lay-by off the A40, which I later found out
You weren't dogging where you are.
I later found out it was a gay cruising spot, and I did not know that. I did not know that when I went there.
This is the Jonathan I like. Come on, man.
You're Jonathan, I'm Ian, and you're also drunk. It was a gay cruising area. I went there because I'd just come back from New York City. It was the first bit of greenery I saw. And, and I'll address an issue that was raised online. The reason I had my belt loosened is because I had terrible indigestion from all of the aeroplane food.
As you do.
Yes.
As you do.
So
Yes,
anyone trying to make this into some kind of sexual adventure, you better have a good lawyer.
Ian, respect. Man, you're doing it. You're going to get that place on Channel 4 plus 1,
Well,
E4.
Well, if you're on Channel 4 plus 1, that means you're also on Channel 4. So, but I don't particularly want to be on TV anymore, Jonathan.
Why is that?
Because I don't particularly like it. It's like.
Right, but you were good. You were good.
Oh, I'm the best. I'm the best.
No, you had that.
I'm the best.
Talent.
I'm the best.
You had that talent.
I'm
you
the
know
best.
what? Sorry to interrupt you, but you seen that thing resurfacing now where Ali? Sorry, that where Ali G's going against Donald Trump.
No, he's not.
Donald. No. Did you see that clip?
No. Yeah, I saw that back in the day, man. I used to host the show. Jonathan,
yeah, I know you did.
Thank you,
but but
Jonathan, you send out a very toxic vibe. Can we get to the thrust? Can we get to the thrust of this call? Because I really want to talk about the Build-A-Bear.
What, that one where they're doing it for a pound? God, them kids got massacred. The kids being stamped on.
No.
They're being all walked over.
No.
You know, people in the 50s are being massacred.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not great.
What is your drug of choice tonight? Because I don't think it's booze.
Oh, heroin. We've gone. It's cheap these days. It's very cheap.
I'm getting a cokey vibe off you.
A coke, really?
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, but no one does that these days. You've been for that phrase, haven't you?
I've been through that. He's right. I've been through that phrase.
Yeah, but everyone
Jonathan, I'm going to let you go, mate. Thanks for your call.
Have a nice day, Angel. Cheers, Ian.
There we go. Ugh, obnoxious person.
And he'll ring back and back and back.
Of course he will. 0344 499 1000. We've got Angela next, followed by Andre, unless someone good calls him. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK. Talk Radio, we'll get you talking.
Yep.
He enjoys it.
The crowd is electric. There's a real air of anticipation today. And here it comes, our midfield general, the new Hyundai Tucson Go Edition SUV, proving that it's equipped to deal with anything. Packed with extra kit, including sat-nav with live traffic updates to help you stay on the ball, plus our ever-present 5-year unlimited mileage warranty to keep you match fit. But football fan or not, with Hyundai you could all make the most of our World Cup Tucson Go Edition. Discover more at hyundai.co.uk. Warranty T's and C's apply.
Cast your mind back and think. Were you ever contacted out of the blue for a pension review? Were you advised to move your work or personal pension into a SIP, self-invested personal pension?
Yes, I was.
You could be due thousands if you were missold. Money Redress are trusted claim specialists in pension and investment mis-selling. They'll manage the whole claim for you on a no payout, no fee basis, so you can't lose. Text WIN to 85077.
We've got it at Selco. Selco, it's where the trade goes.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade-quality building products. In July, we've got 50mm IKO Enotherm 2400 by 1200mm insulation boards for only $22.49 each ex-VAT. Now that's a real deal. We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We've got it at Selco.
Selco!
It's where the trade goes.
Hurricane. This World Cup is getting better and better. The goals are getting better. The drama is getting greater. The goal of the night to crown the night.
The World Cup that keeps on giving.
What a finale. Super show from Russia now. When the pressure was on, right at the very end, he took the coolest of kicks.
The World Cup continues. Yes! On ITV.
What makes a Vanarama van make your business look the business? What about not needing a big deposit? What about how affordable it is? You can get a brand new Ford Transit Custom for just £239 a month. What a price! What a mighty good price!
Business users initial rental £1,500 plus 20% back, 35 months. Admin fee £165 plus 20% back. Conditions apply.
Go to vanarama.co.uk.
Tell you, he will keep phoning up all night. Just ignore him.
The Late Night Alternative.
Of course he is.
With Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
We'll be doing a phone-in later on. Apparently lots of people yesterday were raising the question that maybe Gareth Southgate should be sacked. Well, I say no. I think we should, the second he gets off the plane, he should be knighted, Sir Gareth Southgate. And everyone that was yesterday questioning whether he should be sacked, well, I think those people should have their heads chopped off.
Whoa, hang on a minute.
Jihadi style.
Whoa!
0344 499 1000. It's hard to disagree.
Well...
Huh? Let's go.
Beheading, though?
Let's go. It's the least they deserve. You should hear what I want to say, but I can't say. Because I'm too busy going through the Facebook pictures of a girl that I know. Her name is Angela. Looking at your pictures on Facebook and I'm playing with my down below.
That's a bit much, mate.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't mean it, Angela.
It's based on a true story.
No, I'm all right.
Hello, Angela.
Hiya, Ian and Catherine. How are you tonight?
You don't have to talk about Catherine if you don't want to. It can just be me and thee.
Okay. I've got a question for you.
I think I'm free.
Right. I just want to know, what do you think of physical depression?
Of what?
Mental health depression.
What do I think of... Say the first word.
The physical...
Physical?
Yeah.
Physical depression. I don't know what do you mean by that?
Well, because of my joint problem and everything, sometimes it affects my mental health and it goes both together.
Okay, so have I got this right? The depression that is caused by physical weaknesses?
Mm.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I had it really bad last week.
Yeah, I bet that sucks. And that's a tough one, man, because it's, with a lot of physical things, you can't do nothing about it. And I know a lot of people with degenerative diseases like MS and Parkinson's and stuff suffer from depression, and partly because of the weakness that is in their body. And they don't have as many options open to them as able-bodied people do. How do you cope with it, Angela?
I cope a bit with my hobbies, and I do a lot of knitting and stuff like that, and get my colouring book out, get different. I do a lot of colouring. We do a lot of adult colouring. I don't know if you got it in your libraries, but we do an adult colouring mental awareness.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You can't colour in library books, can you?
No, just adult colouring books from adult colouring books.
Cuddling books?
Colouring books.
Colouring books. Oh yeah, but what, you can't colour in a library book. You have to take in your own books, surely, don't you?
Yeah, you have to take our own, but they supply some pictures for you as well.
Oh, do they? Oh, that's good of them.
Yeah.
This is why we need libraries, guys, because, libraries are the only places... can we think of anywhere else, right? As far as I'm aware, libraries are the only places where it is free to hang out that enrich your lives in so many different ways. Can you think of anywhere else, Angela, that's free to hang out?
Lay-bys on the M40?
No, come on, man! Stop it!
I go out with my friends and go out, I like to go swimming and stuff like that.
You have to pay for that?
I don't mind. We got passport to leisure.
Okay.
Or whatever we got.
Okay. Here's the thing. There's a near us, sort of Bracknell way, so it's not that near. But there's it took them 2 years to build it. There's like a super swimming pool with like about a dozen water slides that come out of the building and swirl, all of this stuff. Right. I'd love to go, but the queues are going to be nuts there. The queues, it's going to be 80% urine, and also the queues are going to be nuts, right? Why can't I have, like, a Michael Jackson ability to get them to open this swimming pool just for an hour and a half, just for me and my kids? What's wrong with that? It's not much to ask, is it? Is it?
We're getting a new one in Coventry.
No.
It won't be open till next year.
Exactly, and it's hot now.
The one that's very old is being knocked down because it's been there years.
You'll have to stand in the sink and get someone to splash you.
Okay. I love swimming.
I used to. I don't really see the point of it now.
I find it really boring. But also, since I've had kids, it's never swimming. It's just being attacked with water.
Oh, but you could go for a swim on your own one afternoon. And I've done. And
I've contemplated it.
I used to enjoy swimming as a means of keeping fit, but now I just get changed and I just see my big fat belly and I just think, and then I hate it. And then
no one's looking at you.
They are
worrying about themselves.
No, they are looking at me because I'm that knob who ate those strawberries. Of course, they're looking at me. The last time I was swimming with the kids, all the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, what they call security guards, lifeguards, were like nudging each other and looking at me.
Ian, they've seen you eating a pig's fanny. What are you worried about?
I just don't like being looked at. I just want to be anonymous.
Oh.
Did you just hear me have an idea then? Angela, hang in there, you're a good egg.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Take care of yourself.
See you soon.
Ta-ta, bye-bye, bye-bye. This is why libraries are so important, right? I love libraries. I've always loved libraries, except for when I was 6 and I got chucked out for making a noise.
Kicking the door, weren't you?
No, well, I was making a noise indoors, and then I went outside, and there was a big metal ring against the wall that you're supposed to tie dogs to. I was banging it, and the woman came out and told me off. And my mum just stayed in the library. What a cow. But I used to love libraries, and I still love libraries, and I'm looking forward to when I move to finding the nearest library and signing up there and being really enthusiastic for a month, then not going for ages, then remembering it and taking all of this stuff. I love it. And there is so much you can get out of it. You've got books, you've got the internet, you got your DVDs and your CDs, you got your adult colouring in there, which is I didn't know. I would often go in and just ponce the Wi-Fi and just sit there and do a little bit of work in there. There's the one in Windsor. They've got one of those Amazon delivery drop-off points in there, and you get there's a knitting. I had to clear the table once because a knitting group had booked the table. Fantastic, right? And it's free at the point of use. Obviously, the taxes and all that. It's free, and they want to close these libraries. But I genuinely, I've got one. I can only think of one other place, and this is a bit specialist. I can only think of one other place where it is free to go, and you get loads out of it. And the place I'm thinking of is like the playground, the park,
right.
With the kids and stuff. And you've got to have a kid for it to be worthwhile.
Museums, a lot of museums.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But the museums in smaller towns are often not very good.
No.
You have to go to the Londons for the science and the natural history, or the Manchester. You've got to go to the big cities.
Yeah. Although that one we went to in Tring was a belter.
Which one did we go to? What's Tring?
Tring Museum with the dressed fleas.
Oh yeah. Well, the dressed fleas were good.
And all the stuffed animals, the badly stuffed animals.
The dress fleas are good. The rest of it was a little bit, yeah. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's okay, so we've got but don't these words sound old? Museums, parks, libraries. They sound like really old-fashioned words, and they shouldn't be. Libraries have done a really, really good job of getting in touch with the modern age. They're great libraries now. You've got little cafes in there. You don't have to be quiet in libraries anymore. So anything goes. Can it, 0344 499 1000. Can you think of anywhere that is free that you can get, you can be enriched from? You can go there, you can hang out as long as you want, and you get some form of enrichment.
Here's somewhere that I went because of the line of work I was doing, but anyone can go to. Court.
Oh, no, I've never done
You can
that.
sit in the public gallery.
I've never done that.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and it's also, because I'd be writing things up as a reporter and I'd know the basics of a case.
Yeah.
But actually sitting there and seeing the people involved, I mean, it's a lot of voyeurism, actually, but, you form an opinion
Is
about
that what they're being charged with?
Sometimes. I remember one that was really nasty, GBH case. And I heard all about it, and it was awful. And then this kid comes out into the dock. You think, oh man, that's someone's son, that, and it's not the person, not the big roughy tufty person I thought it was going to be.
It's like the staircase or Making a Murderer, but British. I've not done it. Take me to court one day.
You can go to the Old Bailey round here.
Okay, so you're not going to take me.
I'll take you if you want.
All right, yeah, because I'd be scared to go on my own.
Why?
Because I wouldn't want people to go, oh, there's that idiot who ate the strawberries, go in and knock him one out to the court case. Do you know, I wouldn't. I would feel very self-conscious.
Yeah.
I'd feel very...
A lot of it's boring.
Oh, great, thank you.
Well, it was my job, so I had to go and sit there through the boring stuff.
There might be some good Pokemon in there. You just don't know. You just don't know. Good evening, Kasif, my favourite caller.
Hello, Ian.
Lovely to talk to you, man. You've gone viral.
Yeah, Ian, Twitter's like a drug to you.
Yes, my friend, and I'm injecting it into the veins of my foot.
And you see how many likes you get? I bet if you all of a sudden you fall on the floor, you can't thinking what's wrong with you, you see your phone, he's got more than 20 likes, he's got an overdose.
That is actually very funny. It is very, very funny, man.
She's there calling 999, hello.
Okay.
And they're like, my friend's had an overdose on what? On Twitter.
Okay, we kind of got the point, and it's slightly fake laughing now. But you're on Twitter tonight.
Yes, I know, Ian. I've just seen about half an hour ago.
Your video is going ballistic. It's had something like 1,500 views.
Yes, Ian, because that particular person look like an owl.
Getting you mentioning there, I'm watching this clip that Jeremy Vine has tweeted about an old man. It's a video. Who's this old man? Who is this? Oh, what is this? What am I looking at here? Is Martin Reichart. What is this? Well, I'm watching something here, and I don't know what I'm watching.
Well, stop it.
It's an old. Can someone tell me this thing that Jeremy Vine has tweeted? It's an old man, and he's being led away, and he looks absolutely steaming drunk. And Kasif has gone. Where have you gone, Kasif? I don't know what it is.
Hang on.
Dieser Mann ist untragbar. What does that mean? Dieser Mann ist untragbar.
Ich weiß nicht.
Where has Kasif gone? Jeez, let me call him back. Hang on. Because I hadn't finished with that. I was enjoying Kasif's fake laughter. I pressed that button there, don't I? There we go. Oh, man. The show's really... Jonathan's really sucked the vibe out of the show. No, we got to go home.
Hello?
What did you hang up for, man?
I said what I wanted to say.
Oh!
He's done.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Okay, you drop the mic. Okay, well listen, what does it feel like to be an internet sensation, my friend?
I want a few other videos go viral of myself, Ian.
Have you? But have they gone as viral? This has had about 1,500 views.
Some others are about in the tens of thousands.
Rubbish!
Yeah.
You liar! You little liar! Oh, you little liar!
I'm not lying.
You're lying.
I'm not going to reveal it because
You're lying.
I don't want a lot of people to know about that.
You're lying. You're lying. Was it a sex tape that got leaked? Was it a solo? Were you performing a solo sex act on stage?
Ian, I'm not as pretty as you are.
Well, it's okay. Well, that is why it would be solo. You're a man of mystery, Kasif, and I respect that.
Yeah.
You're my favourite caller, brother. Take care, man.
Thank you, you too.
No, bye. He's great, isn't he? I love that guy. 03444991000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The incredible new sound of Talk Radio.
The no-nonsense.
Because the man's obviously drunk,
with
yeah?
Julia Hartley-Brewer.
The biggest breaking news stories, headline-grabbing guests, and razor-sharp opinion.
Join me,
Guys,
Julia
get
Hartley-Brewer, when I'll be turning up the heat every morning from 6:30
Yeah.
with an essential mix of straight-talking debate, heavyweight political guests, and fearless talk. Waking up the nation with a brand new breakfast conversation.
The no-nonsense breakfast with
So
Julia
what is it?
Hartley-Brewer
Tomorrow morning from 6:30.
on Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee. Unfiltered night talk with the original king of unconventional conversation on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
03444991000. Let's get this out of the way and then see where we go. Good evening, Andre.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath. What you can't get in libraries is this. I've got a larynx and I'm not afraid to use it. Do you want to hear it?
I think we're going to.
Right, here we go. Bit of volume. I've got my lappy on.
Beautiful.
Just turn it up a bit. Can you hear that all right?
Yep.
To be someone must be a wonderful thing. A famous popular rock singer or a big film star. Yes, I think I would like that. To be rich and have lots of fans. Have lots of go to prove that I'm a man and be number one. It's a tune and liked by everyone. Right, it's only 2 minutes long, but it's a good one.
Okay, feels longer.
Wait for this, wait for this.
So, to be someone by the Jam.
Okay.
It's a good and Catholic, yeah?
Well.
Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Getting drugged up with my trendy friends.
Yeah.
I really dig me, man. I dig them. And the bread I spend. It's like my...
Okay, losing the will to live there. So there's this woman called the Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, I don't think that's a given name.
Okay. And she's got this TV show called, I think it's called Dr. Pimple Popper. Can anyone find me this TV show? It sounds amazing. So basically, she is a young female doctor, and she removes lumps and bumps from people's bodies. Now, some of them are, what was that the name of that lump?
Lipoma.
A lipoma, which is like a big, it was like a sort of
big fat bomb.
It was fat build up that was kind of like the size of maybe 2 big oranges under someone's skin. And she pulled it out. But the best ones is her squeezing blackheads and lovely juicy parts of the body and just watching all that pus come out, man. And it really does sound like let me find the description of the show. Dr. Pimple Popper's show is not for the faint of heart. Oh, she's the American dermatologist Dr. Sandra Lee helps patients with rare skin conditions in her new TLC show. In the first episode, Lee tackles cysts, boils, and the biggest lipoma that she's ever seen.
Alcoholics, I've got all new pops. You got here! Oh,
big monster.
Like nothing you've ever seen before.
Ready for the squeeze?
I can't get enough.
Dr. Pimple Popper begins tonight at 10 on TLC and TLC Go.
I've got to see this show. Because there's some videos of her on YouTube, but they're not as...
She's a big Instagram star, isn't she?
Is she? Because I would love... Can you send her an email?
Yeah, okay.
Get her on the
She's
show.
big news, so I don't know if she'll
Hey,
deign
whoa.
to join us.
Whoa, excuse me?
Well...
Excuse me? What the hell? Dr. Lee at drpimplepopper.com. Would you make up our figures? Tell her we get about 250,000 listeners.
Okay.
And with the biggest late night show in the UK. They'll buy any of that old rubbish. God, I mean, this is just outrageous. And she goes around squeezing spots and things. What a gig! What a gig! I love you.
My mum's a big squeezer.
Oh, I love it. Do you know what? I noticed See, you know, a little scar on my nose there. It's like a little lump on my nose.
A mole. It's a mole, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no darkness.
No, you
Right.
sometimes don't.
No, I know exactly what that is, and it took me. This is a lump on my nose, which I notice, and of course we notice these tiny little things on our body that no one else really pays any attention to, and we kind of fixate on them sometimes. And about 2 or 3 years ago, I worked out what this is. When I was a kid, I remember it vividly. I was about 5, and I had a little mole on my nose, and my mum thought it was a blackhead, and she squeezed it off. And I remember it. I was sat on her lap. And it hurt, and I cried, and she kept saying, "Sit still, I'm going to get this up." And it wasn't a spot; it was a mole. It was meant to be there. And I remember this the other day, and suddenly, I remember I was wearing shorts, and it was a hot day. I remember the incident so vividly, and I'd forgotten it for about 38 years, and it came back. My mother scarred my face, as well as biting me to stop me biting other kids, but that was, and the cat and my sister. But that was a different incident. Isn't it funny, the things that happened to us that we don't remember, and some of them we'll never remember, and some of them just pop back in my head, a fully shaped memory. It was incredible. Weird. And it does make me think, I know I've wasted a lot of money on my kids on stuff they're never going to remember. For the first 5 years, I should have just put them in a room.
No.
Just put them in a box.
No, because even if they don't remember it, that stimulation is important.
Well, they'll forget it, though.
They won't.
Look,
I used to sit and read to my babies in flipping French. What's the point in that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad you're getting it now.
It's good practice for me, though.
Un petit peu.
Un tout petit peu.
Hmm?
Un tout petit peu.
What does that mean?
A very little bit.
Okay. I did a joke and you made it funnier. All right.
No, I didn't.
No, you're right, you didn't. But it is pointless. Anything before the age of 5, pointless. Absolutely pointless.
No, magic.
It's so silly. They don't remember it. So what? Wait.
I've got video of my eldest sitting on the potty with a book.
Right.
She always had a book. There were always books around because I used to read to her, and then she used to play reading, and now she loves books, and I think that that's important. I think that comes from having been read to.
Okay.
And had books around her.
But she won't remember that.
But they were. But then my youngest did the same, you know.
Yeah, she won't remember that.
I have friends whose kids don't have books at all in the house or toys.
Well, they won't remember that.
But they won't read books for fun.
It seems like you're arguing a different point to the one I'm making.
I'm saying
you're trying to get a round peg into a flipping speak and spell.
There's no pegs involved.
Well,
what I'm saying to you is
you're pegging me off.
What?
No, that means
I know, isn't that awful?
It's a strange name. I wouldn't call it. Anyway, go on.
No, what I'm saying is that those habits, even though they might not remember every single bit of them, the habits get formed and they get used to certain things.
All I'm saying is form the habits, but do it at 5. Because before then, they just won't remember. You are literally wasting your time and money with empty vessels that when they get to 5, the vessel is reset. You press and reset on a computer. It will not remember anything before that. Maybe a few images, a few things. No use to them. So this is what I'm saying. I'm tempted to have another kid just to put this to the test and prove you wrong.
A control.
Yeah, an experimental child. And I'm prepared, if anyone is listening, I'm prepared to father a child with you. But for 5 years, the first 5 years of its life, it just lives in a room and you feed it and stuff.
Like those Teletubby babies. Have you seen the new Teletubbies?
No. What?
They're a baby Teletubbies, right? And they're always in the nursery in a playpen.
Yeah.
They don't go anywhere.
Perfect.
My youngest thinks some of them might be, because they're always asleep.
Oh.
So.
Drugged up like the Thai boys. Wowzers. Ketamine. They used on the Thai boys, I think.
Did they?
I think it was ketamine, yeah.
Blimey.
There's a documentary coming out that I really want to see. I saw the trailer for it when I was in New York, and I've seen nothing about... The Mr. Rogers people never replied. Those guys can get knotted.
Not so nice.
But there's a trailer, and I showed you the trailer, Catherine, and it's great. And I saw it in New York, and I want to see the film called Three Identical Strangers. And it's about this guy in his 20s, and he goes to college, and everyone keeps calling him Steve. He goes, no, my name's Dan. They go, no, you're Steve. And he gets introduced to this guy, and they're obviously identical twins. And he's like, whoa! We're identical twins. And it becomes like a bit of a local story. They'd never met and they didn't know they had a brother. And it gets in the local press, and another guy reads it and goes, "Whoa! They're my brothers! I look exactly like them, and they're triplets." And then there's a twist, but obviously the trailer doesn't tell you what the twist is. But man alive, that looks like a great movie. That's what I want to see. I want to see the first episode of the B movie is the first episode of Dr. Pimple Popper with Sandra Lee, followed by 3 identical strangers. That to me would be a great night's TV viewing. 03444991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative with Ian and Kath on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and...
Yes, man!
Access all radios.
Talk Radio. Give it some lip.
The big story of the day on Talk Radio with The Times. Know your Times. Every weekday from 6:30, join Julia Hartley-Brewer for in-depth analysis of the morning headlines. Don't just be informed, be well informed with fearless debate and in-depth opinion from right across the political spectrum.
Join me, Julia Hartley-Brewer, for the biggest breaking current affairs stories, top guests and razor-sharp reaction.
Get a better quality conversation at breakfast. The big story of the day with Julia Hartley-Brewer on Talk Radio with The Times. Know your Times.
And here at the Construction Site Cup, the contractor team is down to 10 men. But wait, they're bringing on a super subby. A few, in fact. Brickies, Sparkies, Chippies. What a hat trick! Looks like this contractor and these subcontractors used some great tactics and went to supersubby.com, where contractors find subbies and subbies find contractors by skills, location and trade. It's free for subbies with a 3-month free trial for contractors. So download the free app or visit supersubby.com. Super Subby, the new smarter way to find site work or workers.
Hey, Philip Schofield here. WeBuyAnyCar.com reckon you could find out what your car's worth in under 60 seconds. I know, I didn't believe it myself, so I timed it. And it's true. It actually took me only 53 seconds. Not that it's a race. So if you want to find out how much your car's worth, or just want to beat my time, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com. I think I might give it another go. 49. Get in.
Admin fee may apply. For more information, see WeBuyAnyCar.com/info. On the outside, I'm Hannah Woods, but on the inside, I'm Jessica Ennis-Hill. I can't run the 100-metre hurdles, but now I go running in my lunch break with my friend from work. We keep each other going. So what Jess and I do have in common is the desire to get up and get active in the first place. And that's where my Vitality Life Insurance really helps, by giving me money off gym membership and half price on a lovely new pair of trainers.
Take out Vitality Life Insurance today and you could get 40% off monthly gym membership at selected Virgin Active and Nuffield health clubs. Just search Vitality. A gym joining fee, minimum monthly premiums and conditions apply.
At Green Flag, we think the AA are great. They've won bucketfuls of awards. They'll give you unlimited call-outs when you get in a pickle.
Yes.
Pickle. And they cover 100% of the UK. Very good indeed. So why do we think that is so great? Because Green Flag do all of this too. And we'll have you AA renewal quote. Green Flag. Common sense to the rescue.
There may be a charge for call-outs with the same problem. Savings based on our closest equivalent UK vehicle cover for vehicles 10 years and under. T's and C's apply.
The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway.
On Talk Radio, we'll get you talking.
Listen up, comrades of the world. Unite.
Our glorious leader, George Galloway, was the mother of all talk shows.
The switchboard is lighting up. Controversial conversation and cutting-edge current affairs comment with the notorious B-I-G-G. Listen, this guy's a nightmare. He's not a great guy, folks. The mother of all talk shows with George Galloway. Tomorrow night from 7.
Order! Order!
Uncut, after-hours conversation for the up-all-night generation.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
On Talk Radio, we'll get you talking.
So I go on Good Morning Britain from time to time. I've not been on there for a while. I think I'm doing a competition on there next Wednesday or Thursday, I think. I'm going on there. I think I'm going on Lorraine as well, which is very, very exciting. And I like Good Morning Britain. I enjoy it. Everyone there is very, very nice to me. I just go on and report on the showbiz. It's not, it's not the biggest gig in the world, but it's a lot of fun. And Susanna Reid is delightful. Ben Shepherd, what a gentleman.
What a guy.
He's such a nice guy. Who's the other lady I like? Oh, my mind's gone completely blank. I've just been hit by a little a tsunami of exhaustion.
Kate Garraway.
Kate Garraway. They're all lovely, right? They're all lovely. And I've only been on there with Piers Morgan a couple of times, right? And the way it works is you don't... and they've moved to new studios. Before, the stars would walk past my dressing room, but my dressing room in the new studios is kind of... no one walks past it. It's right down the end. I can take a hint. But you never really speak to Susanna and Piers until you go on set. You go on set during a break. You've got a couple of minutes. How's it going? You're right. Nice to see you. What are we talking about? Here we go. Let's do it. You do it. Then they go to the weather and you get whisked off. That's it. There's no, you don't hang around with them and chat with them and stuff like that. But Piers Morgan, the few times I met him, has been delightful to me. Absolutely delightful. A gentleman to me, So I can only judge him by that. But he, on Twitter, he's an arse. And I don't think I'm talking myself.
I don't know how much of that is character.
I wonder. And on TV... he can also be an arse, but I actually find him quite exciting view. I don't really watch Good Morning Britain because I'm normally asleep, right? But when I do watch it when I'm in, it's exciting because there is a spark there. There is an element of danger. A lot of his views I think are obnoxious, but there is an element of danger that I can't think of another TV show that has that, right? And here's I'm going to play a great clip, right, where he's wrong. He's completely wrong. And the obnoxious oath routine, let's be generous and call it a routine, is failing miserably because he's focusing on one thing and he's wrong. The thing he's focusing on is wrong. And I feel he's getting genuinely angry because a very young woman is getting the better of him.
And here's the thing. I think this is going to happen more and more because this generation are the Twitter generation who have been arguing since they could type.
There was a very funny thing. He was having an argument a few months ago with a rapper. And the rapper just told him to F off. Oh! Reasonable debate. Well, I tell you what, why don't you come on Good Morning Britain tomorrow and talk about like a grown-up? And this guy just went, why the F would I want to do that, you see? I just thought it was great. So this is Ash Sarkar. It's on Twitter. It was on Good Morning Britain to talk about protesting Donald Trump's visit to the UK. So they often do this. They get two people of opposing views, and one of them generally gets a rougher ride than the other one.
And the hope is that they'll go at it.
Host Piers Morgan asked why she didn't protest against Obama, and Sarkar didn't waste any time correcting him. It's quite hard to follow what is going on, okay? But you'll hear Piers Morgan, you'll hear Ash Sarkar, and you'll also hear Susanna Reid chipping in a couple of times, okay? So 2 days.
I'll be marching with.
Go back to the beginning of that video. I don't really understand how videos work on. If I refresh that, I'm going to refresh this page. Hang on. Right. So we should hear it now.
So where will you be marching in the next 2 days? I'll be marching in Westminster tomorrow alongside thousands of other people who found the policy of border separations unconscionable. Yep. Who think that the sight of our elected Prime Minister holding Donald Trump's hands is an utter embarrassment. Did you find Obama deporting 3 million people unconscionable? You haven't split up many families. Yes, I did, and that's why. Where was your protest march against that when he came to the country? And that's why I also protest. If you feel so strongly about it, Ash, where was your protest march against Obama? In this country if you found that unconscionable too, where was the march?
You do not have to go out and march against everything in order to make a point about one thing.
No, if you find them both unconscionable and it's the same issue, you have to march twice, don't you? I would actually encourage you to maybe check out some of the other work they've done where I've been intensely... Tell you what I'd do, Ash, I'd go and check out some basic facts about your hero, Obama. He's not my hero, I'm a communist, you idiot. You didn't plan any protests against him, did you? Zero protests against Obama.
Jesus! You have every right to protest.
Every right to protest. Just get it in perspective. There were none against Obama. There were none against Vladimir Putin.
Why didn't you go out and march against Obama then if you're so keen
manning your
investigators
to make up for your own incompetence as a journalist? Sorry.
You
didn't hold Trump adequately to account when you interviewed him. Yes, I did. You didn't think that climate change was important enough to bring up. I held Trump very well to account on a number of issues.
It's embarrassing.
Well, it may be embarrassing.
And instead what you've done,
but actually,
straw man to your guest,
what I try and do,
and you've deflected from the actual argument at hand.
What I try and do is be fair about Trump.
What you do
And to no one
is
else.
be relentlessly anti-Trump and relentlessly pro somebody like Obama.
I'm not pro-Obama. I've been a critic of Obama. I'm a
critic
critic of the Democratic Party because I'm literally a communist.
Isn't it great? She's brilliant. She's brilliant. I said she's young because she does look, I don't know, she's early 20s is what she looks. And the reason that's important is because you're right. I think it is this younger generation that don't have respect for stuffy, this fake respect that is garnered on TV for the host. They don't have that because that's not their world, and certainly not for stuffy old white men in suits and ties. You know and he is being incredibly rude to her. It's beyond trying to take apart someone's argument. He's bullying her, I think, there, and he's being incredibly rude, and he's wrong. And what's great is, very rarely do you see a host losing the speaking over each other competition. Very, very rarely. He loses the speaking over each other competition and she wins it.
I also think he's losing his rag a bit.
Yeah. Oh, she has got him angry. She's angry.
But also he realises he's in a, well, I don't think he does. He's stopped listening. He's in his zone.
Yeah.
He's got one mode of attack and he's sticking to it despite not listening to her because she said twice there. Very early on, she said she was a communist and she did not support Obama. She also said that she'd been protesting against the deportation within this country as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's doing that thing that Trump does of reiterating something that is a lie, and he's doing that again. You support Obama. I told you I'm a communist. Well, you don't see her body language. Her body language is brilliant as well. I don't know. I look behind the scenes of this young woman. I don't know much about her, but I just thought that was absolutely spot on and a proper argument on live television. The excitement, the buzz.
She was not abiding by the unspoken rules, which is this is his show.
Yeah.
And he does his thing, and you are here to make him look good. She didn't realise that was the script, and she wasn't going to stick to it.
She was great. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Well, congratulations. Well done. Let's go to Mo. Good evening, Mo.
Good evening, man. Are you going to give me a word in today?
Yeah, maybe. But if you're just going to phone up to talk about strawberries or have a go at me, then no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I just want to talk to you about something.
Well, is it going to be having a go at me because I've done something that you disapprove of?
No, I don't want to have a go at you.
I bet it is.
Let's hear him out.
Let's hear him out. Okay.
So you're going to hear me out, actually, for the first time ever?
Yeah, does that floor you because you've actually got nothing to say?
No, I do actually have something to say.
Let's hear it then, Mo. Come on.
Let's hear it, Mo.
Can you give me a bit of a drum roll?
Nope.
Are you going... Are you going on the Trump rally?
Nope.
Can you not give me a bit more of an enthusiastic answer?
Well, I'm waiting for the... well, I've answered the question. You shouldn't ask a closed question.
Why do you want to go on the Trump rally, Ian? Do you agree with his policies?
Well, that's two questions. Which ones do you want me to answer?
The first one, really, first.
Because I can't be bothered.
Here you go, Mo.
Why can't you be bothered?
Are you going?
There we go.
Obviously.
Okay, well, great. Well, whereabouts is it kicking off?
Portland Lane.
Okay, well, great. Well, you go and have a... What, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hey, can I make a suggestion? Why don't you go to Waterloo, get the train, it's an hour's ride to Windsor and Eton Riverside Station, and protest in Windsor, because, I don't know, I think that's where he's going to be.
No, but that's just because we want to get, obviously...
You don't want to be in the same town as him because you're chicken. Okay, that's fair enough, man.
No,
you don't want to go to the same town... You don't want to go to the same town that he's in.
We want to get media attention.
Okay, great. Well, you go and get media attention instead of protesting where, I don't know, the man you're protesting against might actually see you.
Why is he so disrespectful? Obviously he's going to see us on the media.
No, why would he? He doesn't...
He's a bit busy, mate.
Yeah, he's having tea with the Queen. He's not going to be watching news at 5.
Why are you playing us down? You're going to see how many people are protesting.
Oh, no, I'm not playing the protesters down. I'm playing you down because you're an idiot. Thanks for your call, Mo. Always a pleasure. What's a strange young lady? 0344449. I mean, you're protesting in London, sure, but why not protest? We have to come back because we're sorry. Protest in Windsor, where he is. 034444991,000. This is Talk Radio.
24-hour radio debate and entertainment.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
Listen. Arguing for arguing's sake, you know.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of nothing. Sounds nice, doesn't it? At Ford, we like the sweet sound of nothing too. That's why we offer 0% APR representative on Ford options across our car range, including the all-new Fiesta Active crossover. Visit your nearest participating Ford dealer today. Ford. Together, we go further.
Retail only. Vehicles to be contracted by 30th of September 2018 and registered by 31st of December 2018. Subject to status. Guarantees may be required. Free post Ford credit. Exclusions apply. Contact your Ford dealer for more information.
When the McCulloch man mows his lawn with his McCulloch lawnmower, he powers through even the toughest grass with one goal in mind: to finish the job before the match starts. And with his McCulloch lawnmower, he's got the power to get the job done. That's why his mates envy his lawn as well as his team. Get your McCulloch lawnmower and other garden power tools at good DIY stores nationwide or at McCulloch.com. McCulloch, the power to get the job done.
For everyone who wants more from their Wi-Fi. For everyone who wants to binge-watch box sets all day long. For everyone who's been stung by unexpected broadband price hikes. TalkTalk has your back. Because our faster fibre comes with our promise of no mid-contract price rises and includes our all-new Wi-Fi hub. With our fastest, strongest, most reliable signal yet. All for just £25.50 a month for 18 months. Search TalkTalk Fibre. TalkTalk for everyone. £30 setup fee, contracts and conditions apply.
That looks very good, sir.
Really? Have to say, I love the colour. And I can tailor it to suit me exactly.
Of course. We have lots of options. How's the fit?
Yeah, brilliant. Loads of room.
Good to hear. So that you can be sure you like it, why don't you have it over the weekend?
Perfect. It'll turn a few heads in town, and I think my friends are going to love it.
Excellent. Here are the keys. The stylish, spacious Mini Clubman. Take a 48-hour test drive to try one on for size. Who's in? Test drive subject to status and availability. Terms and conditions apply. Participating Mini retailers only.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio, on the hour news headlines.
With the latest, I'm Serena Farrow. Donald Trump has warned Theresa May that her Brexit blueprint will kill hopes of any future trade deal with America.
I told her how to do it. She wanted to go a different route.
So you would be prepared to walk away if they didn't give you the right terms?
Oh, absolutely. I think what's going on is very unfortunate. Too long. You know, deals that take too long are never good ones.
In an interview with The Sun, the US president claims he would have handled Brexit negotiations very differently. He also thinks Boris Johnson's got what it takes to be Prime Minister, just days after he quit as Foreign Secretary. Mr Trump's on his first visit to the UK as the American president. A Labour MP's quit his party with immediate effect. Jared O'Mara says it follows careful reflection of the decision to readmit him after he was suspended last October. An internal investigation was carried out, but the Sheffield Hallam MP feels it was unfair. A spokesperson for the Labour Party says they're disappointed and insists the probe was handled with sensitivity. An 86-year-old woman has died and 2 others have been injured in a stabbing at a property in Birmingham. A murder investigation has been launched by West Midlands Police. 2 people are being held on suspicion of manslaughter over the death of a girl who was thrown from an inflatable trampoline in Norfolk. The 3-year-old died on a beach at Galston 11 days ago. And the Duchess of Sussex will cheer on her good pal Serena Williams in her 10th Wimbledon women's singles final. The Duchess of Cambridge will join Meghan on centre court on Sunday. Serena says despite her friend's new role status, they're still great mates.
We've always had a wonderful friendship, and she, every year, for a couple years, comes out to Wimbledon and has supported me, and now she's supporting me in a different role. But our friendship is still exactly the same. We always have supported each other.
So let's take a look at the weather then. Warm and sunny for many of us, but some heavy and thundery showers possible overnight across southern and western parts of England and Wales, but clearing to leave a dry morning for many.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
our love is true. We're going up, we're trying to, not knowing where to start. I looked around for someone who may help reveal my heart. Someone said, why you're a part.
Turn down a little bit. So we should night. No, we shouldn't night. It's just a football or something.
Or face the flag.
No, guys, I can't do you lot. Danny Baker's chipped in. Okay, how about this? We knight every member of the squad, but the knighthood only kicks in when they've won something beyond, say, 2 FA Cup medals, or if they've rescued a minor from a genuinely perilous situation.
We've been expecting you. You bring such joy in Cracker Box Palace. No matter where you roam, no our love is true. It's true, it's true. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. That's all a part of life. I'm standing in between them all. I met a Mr. Cripe, and he said, I welcome you to Cracker Box Palace. Was not expecting you. Let's rap and tap at Cracker Box Palace. Know that the Lord is well and inside of you.
Poor old George.
And we welcome you to Cracker Box Palace. We've been expecting you. You bring such joy in Cracker Box Palace. No matter where you roam, no our love is
Okay, Brick Bardo on YouTube. You just earned yourself a little 5-minute thinking time there. What the heck is this assault on the ears? That's George Harrison.
true. Our love is true.
Let's have a little think about what you've said. Okay, 5 minutes. Thank you very much indeed. So Build-A-Bear, huh? Is Build-A-Bear named after Bilderberg?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably is, isn't
But
it?
they started with an owl.
So they've not munching those on air, love.
Don't talk to me for a second then.
Okay.
And she's back in the room.
Okay, well, you were still in the room. You were literally just went back about a foot and we could hear everything. You've bought chocolates that are crunchy.
They're gone now.
Sweet.
I've necked them.
Liam, I'll come to you in a minute. 0344 499 1000. So Build-A-Bear, which is this evil, sinister group that basically want to take over the world by encouraging people to make their own bears instead of buying ready-made ones. I don't think I've ever done Build-A-Bear, actually, but you see them in shopping centres a lot, don't you? You go in and it's like an...
Oh, they're pricey.
Oh, I bet they are. It's like 50 quid or something, isn't it? But it's the experience of the kid gets to build the... What was this? Well, who did your friend...
My mate, Other Lee.
Yeah.
Not Lee, but Other Lee.
Yeah.
Went on his lunch break to get a bear for a new baby.
Yeah.
Not his baby, friend's baby.
Beautiful.
So, he just wanted to nip in there, get in, get out, bosh, right?
Yeah.
So he goes in. No, he's got to go through the whole process.
Right.
So he has to choose the bear skin.
Wow.
And he has to take it to the bear maker.
Right. So they treat him like a 7-year-old.
Yeah. And then they hand him this little plastic heart. Oh. And they said, right, now you have to kiss the heart and make a wish. And he went, well, to be honest, mate, I just want to get the bear in and out. Ooh, I've got a bit busy. I need to get a sandwich. I'd rather just crack on and... No, we don't need to do that. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
The bear won't be magic unless you kiss the heart.
You've got to kiss the heart.
There was a 3-minute standoff where they were sort of looking at each other and went, I've really got to do this. And in the end, He had to, because they just will not permit any bear to go out without magic.
It doesn't. If you don't kiss the heart, then the heart won't work and the bear won't be alive. And you give it to a kid and they go, why have you given me a dead bear? So you've got to do that.
And it seems to make sense when you say it.
But so the Build-A-Bear had an offer just today, I think, where you, instead of paying £50, you would pay whatever your age was. And my friend Scott went, well, it's a lot of fuss just to pay 41 quid. And Build-A-Bear replied, no, the age of your child. So, a lot of kids went in that were 6 months, you paid £1.
But could you have any of the bears? Because some of them are, like, they've got My Little Ponies, they've got all these different things, and some of them are quite elaborate.
Here's the thing, I don't know the ins and outs of the Build-A-Bear.
I bet it was standard bears.
Thing. If anyone does, if you were there, 0344 499 1000, we'll call you back. But this caused mayhem, not as Jonathan said, the massacre of children.
No children were massacred.
That's a slight exaggeration. But if you go on Twitter and look for it, there are queues of hundreds of people, nay thousands at some stores, and lots of those kids were going to be very, very disappointed. It's kind of like, do you remember? Was it Hoover that nearly went bust because they were offering free flights to New York? Do you remember that? About 20 years ago.
Vaguely.
I'm sure it was Hoover offering free flights to New York if you bought a certain model. Now, this model was something like 170 quid, and flights to New York were like 350 quid. So people were going in and buying 2 Hoovers so that they could go to New York for half price or something. It was some ridiculous saving.
Yeah.
And Hoover shat themselves because they'd sold way more than they expected, and they're like, we can't actually measure this, so we're going to stop some of you going. And it all kicked off. Was it Hoover?
There were legal claims as well after that. Yeah, it was Hoover. So this was a marketing promotion that began in 1992.
Hey, it was over 20 years ago. Flipping it,
British division of Hoover Company was carrying a large surplus stock of washing machines and vacuum cleaners. So in order to sell them and free up the warehouse space, it promised free airline tickets to customers who purchased more than £100 worth of products.
However, that was it.
They hadn't anticipated that many customers who bought the qualifying products were not really interested in the actual appliances, but just wanted the tickets offered in the promotion. So initially the offer was for 2 round-trip tickets to selected destinations in Europe. This was successful in clearing that stock surplus. Analysis revealed that the rate of conversion of the free flight vouchers into actual tickets was relatively low. So, Hoover decided to expand the offer to include destinations in the USA on the assumption that although the tickets would be more expensive, people wouldn't trade them in. People wouldn't. However, at this point, it went nuts. And Hoover was effectively offering around £600 worth of airline tickets for an outlay of £100. The Hoover factory had to switch to 7-day working and hire additional workers to meet the demand for the cheapest qualifying vacuum cleaner, and some stores were even reporting that people were paying for the appliances and then simply walking out once they got their proof of purchase. It was estimated that enough people tried to convert their vouchers to tickets to fill 500 Boeing 747s. Which was the largest capacity plane at the time.
How did they solve it all then?
Well, ultimately, the 30 million in extra sales the promotion attracted was dwarfed by the 50 million it cost to pay for the airline seats, as well as settle legal claims of those, the majority, who didn't receive tickets.
Wowzers. Incredible scenes. Well, this is the Build-A-Bear equivalent of that. If anyone, I mean, because Build-A-Bear, they're not that big. There's not stores everywhere. Anyway, if you were there, 0344 499 1000. Good evening, Liam.
Good evening. I didn't even ring up to talk about Build-A-Bear, but I've got a mildly funny anecdote about it.
Well, you can talk about anything you want, but go on. Give us your connection to Build-A-Bear.
It's random. I didn't even realise it was going on, but sort of circa 11, 12 years ago, I was with my friend. He was 16, and basically we went to Build-A-Bear, and you can actually record your voice and put it into a bear.
Yes, you can.
Go on.
Yeah. So basically, his girlfriend had a driving test, and he was due to meet her at his house after a driving test. And we went to the Trafford Centre. Yeah. He put in a bear saying "I love you." Oh. He met at the house. She passed her test, and basically she picked up the bear, squeezed it. She said no, and basically got back in the car and drove off.
Oh,
hang on, she was. She dumped him?
She passed the test. She passed the test.
Yeah.
He basically gave her the bear at her house and basically squeezed the bear saying, I love you.
And she
said, no.
She said, nah.
She got back in the car.
Good, no, I've got a car now. I'm not interested in you.
She basically passed the test and basically got up.
He failed his.
The worst £32 he'd ever spent.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I bet his next girlfriend got a lovely Build-A-Bear that said, I love you. I bet. What did you call in about then, Liam?
I'd called it, well, I know this isn't the programme to talk about, but obviously the World Cup.
Yeah, go on.
It's obviously everyone's down in the dumps, but I just want your opinions as a comedian about Malta and White House, their programme on Wednesday nights on BBC Two.
I've not seen it. You've seen it.
Programme, for my opinion, that programme should have started last night and should have just ran 6 episodes last night and just made everyone so happy.
Apparently, it's very, and I know Bob a little bit. Paul, I've met a couple of times. I don't know him, but Bob, I know a little bit. And he's one of the funniest men. Constantly, you just sat there having a coffee with him, and he's just coming out with stuff. But you've seen it, Catherine. I've not.
It's soul soothing,
it's
funny.
A beautiful programme.
Did you ever see The Trip with Steve Coogan and what's the other?
Yeah, it's like that, but I just think it's beautiful.
But
It's not meant to be funny. It's not meant to be about fishing. It's just a beautiful programme.
Exactly. It's not got the snarkiness of The Trip, or you get the feeling that a lot of that is actually scripted and not real. This is a real. This feels like two mates hanging out with each other.
It's two mates hanging out, having a laugh, and it's beautiful. And I just think after last night, I just thought it's run for 3-4 weeks now. I just think that should have been the perfect anecdote after last night to just
or they could
4 or 5 hours on the chop just to everyone to. It's beautiful, honestly. It's a fantastic
It's
program.
like nice slow telly.
Or they could show the pimple popper. I would like to watch. I tell you what, on BBC One you can show Gone Fishing. BBC Two will have the pimple popper, and I'll watch it upstairs on the black and white portable. How's about that then?
That's the deal.
Do you know what? I will check this show out because I've heard lots of good things about it, and
it's just warm.
I was listening to Caitlin Moran with a podcast the other day, and she just saying it's the most beautiful thing. It's a fantastic program, like I say. I'm massive about comedians like yourself and Bob and Paul and a lot of other comedians, and it's not meant to be funny. It's just two friends having a laugh, and like I say, it's beautiful.
Hey, listen, man, thank you for that, Liam. I'm going to check that out. Thank you very much. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. I've still got my stay off Twitter, because I'm getting involved here.
Right. Shut it.
No, I don't want to shut it.
No, I mean your mouth.
If only that's how Syara Khan spoke to whoever it is she does that show with. What show does she do here? Eamon Stay at Home's?
Yeah, she does Eamon Stay at Home's show.
Okay,
driving.
Okay, so imagine if she said that to Eamon. Right, you're fired. You don't speak to... You don't... Here's a lesson, young lady. You don't speak to the host of the show. You don't speak to Eamon Holmes, Sir Eamon Holmes, like that. You're fired. You're fired. And you're fired not at the end of the show. Now, get out of my show. Get out of my studio now. You're fired.
Where's he from now?
It's from Ireland. Get out, Miss Khan. Get out of my studio. Get out of my eyesight. Get out of my...
what?
My eyesight. Get out of my life. Because you do not... You do not speak to me like...
You do not speak to me like that.
Now you're taking the piss out of me.
No, it's from Belfast.
Now you're taking the... Now you're being disrespectful to the Irish accent into the pub. And I will not...
He's Northern Irish, careful.
Okay, well, it's a tricky... Well, now you're telling me where I'm from. Get out. Get out. Ms. Khan, get out of my studio and get out of my eyesight and get out of my life. I will not be tolerating that kind of talk to me, Eamon Holmes.
But you'd have to be here to be offended, wouldn't he? So it's never going to happen.
That's true. 0344 499 1000, the late night alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio, digital debate for the UK.
Pick up your phone and Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.
We can't say sticks like Turbo from Evo Sticks' full name on the radio. We're not allowed. We can say that sticks like Turbo is an amazingly fast-setting adhesive. We can say sticks like Turbo can be used in all weather
conditions. We can even say sticks like Turbo holds up to 300 kilograms in just 15 minutes. We just can't say what sticks like Turbo sticks like, but you can probably guess, and it really does. Sticks like Turbo from Evo Stick.
I got an apprenticeship after school, but I really wanted to challenge myself, so I joined the Navy, and now work in supply chain. It's my job to ensure that the ship and the crew are fully kitted out. I love the diversity of it, and there's always something going on. It's a great challenge. And knowing that it's down to me and my team to get a Type 45 destroyer stocked up and out to sea is very rewarding. I was born in Manchester, but I was made in the Royal Navy. Start your journey. Search Made in the Royal Navy.
At Ford, we prefer to listen to a different kind of feedback, the type that comes from our customers, which is why we've added the new Ford Transit Connect to the Transit range. It's still as hard-working, versatile and reliable as the rest of the Transit range, but is now available with new optional features, including pre-collision assist with pedestrian detection. There's even Ford Pass Connect with modem, so you can stay connected with live traffic and a Wi-Fi hotspot wherever you are. So, whether you're delivering sausage rolls to Swansea or flowers to Felixstowe, we'll have a transit that can carry your business further. When business demands, we deliver at Ford.co.uk. Ford. Together, we go further.
Kick off your slippers. Don't go to bed. The party is just starting.
You can sleep when you're dead. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
All I want to do is buy 2 beanbags. Remember beanbag? If I was to ask you, dear listener, to picture a beanbag, to draw a beanbag either literally or with your mind, right? What does it look like to you? Just think for a second, a beanbag. What does it look like? For me, it's like a giant sort of squishy pear with a little strap on the top that you can pick up. It's like a sort of, it looks like a pear shape, but then you sit on it and it kind of flumps back, and then you get up and you shake it a bit and it goes back to that kind of pear shape. About, what's that? No, about that. But 2 foot tall, something like that, right? So you can get in this house, hopefully, in 2 weeks, who knows? Certainly not my legal team. Your legal team? My legal team don't know. And the guy that's buying it, this guy, he ain't got a freaking clue. I don't know when I'm moving in there. It's supposed to be the 27th. No one told me nothing. Got no furniture. And the sofas are going to be a couple of months. So I instructed my PA to get me, I said, God damn it, woman, get me 2 beanbags. And Catherine was faffing around for a long time. First of all, not realising I was addressing her.
And as I was his PA.
Yeah, we go. And PA stands for pain in the ass.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, he left me hanging. Anyway, so going on to the I bought some beanbags, some good beanbags, about 15 years ago. Got from the John Lewis website. So I went to the first place we went was John Lewis website. And there was no beanbags that shape. They were like, there was a giant one that was like a cat poof. There's lots of poofs.
Yes.
There's one like a cat poof.
They've all got backs on them these days.
They've all got backs. They're all shapes. There were square beanbags. Well, how does that work? It can't even work.
It's a cube.
It's got a mould. Basically, you want to sit on the floor. It moulds around you. You lean back and you play PlayStation. That's what a beanbag is, right? So they didn't have any on there. So then we went and looked at another website, right? And it came up with like 25 pages of beanbags. But not one of them looked like a beanbag. They were all like
beanbag sofas.
A little armchair made out of beanbag. Leather ones, pleather ones, some as big as your head. It was, I couldn't believe it. I got annoyed. After 5 minutes, I'll close that flipping thing. I can't be bothered now. So where the hell can a human being, let's ask Ray. Ray?
Good evening.
Where can I get a normal shaped beanbag from in the year 2018?
What size are you looking for?
I'm looking for sort of... You're not just listening, Ray! I was just describing the perfect beanbag!
What? But you also said where you bought that beanbag from.
No, that was 50... Dear God, clean your lug holes out, mate. Right, I want a beanbag...
They still sell beanbags.
Sorry, what?
I think John Lewis still sell beanbags
Yes.
that size.
Yes, no, they don't sell them that size. They sell like beanbag sofas and beanbag chairs and beanbag flottis and beanbag... They don't sell a pear-shaped... The beanbag, when you take it out and just dump it on the floor, it assumes the shape of a giant pear with a handle. They don't sell those beanbags no more, Raymond.
Get this, Ray. One of the beanbags we looked at was £300.
Sweet Lord!
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But I hate to say this, but I imagine that if you went on something like Amazon, you'd get the perfect thing.
I've actually found somewhere called beanbagbazaar.co.uk.
Oh, yeah?
They've got more beanbags than you know what to do with. They've got beanbag chairs, giant beanbags, kids beanbags, faux fur beanbags, baby beanbags, outdoor beanbags, bazaar bags, beanbag refills, and featured beanbags.
Do they sell beanbags?
A few, yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, and do they sell beanbags that look like pears?
They're selling one that looks like a womb.
Oh. Now, I would like to crawl back into that. Hey, look, here we go. Here we go. Sally's got it, and Sally's got it. Oh, I don't want that. That looks like a love ring. Sally's got it, and Lance has got it. That's a bean. There we go. That's a beanbag.
Yeah, but is that an outdoor beanbag?
It's from Tesco. Large beanbag, ink blue. So Tesco seems to... Where's Sally's? Argos.
All
so
right, well, there you go.
we got to go. Oh, we got to go back to the 1980s. Quick, get in my time machine.
Get the tiny pencils, guys.
We're gonna go and buy beanbags. Anyway, Ray, what you were absolutely no use in the beanbag hunt. What would you like to present to us tonight? And I do hope you're not knocking one out because you're sounding very, very breathy.
No, I'm walking back. I'm on this training course, so I was bored in the hotel room. So about 8 o'clock, I thought I need to get out. So I've walked down to the town, and then met a couple of people and got roped into doing the quiz night.
You got what? You got what?
Roped.
Roped. I'm so sorry. I thought, wow, that's extreme. Okay, well, you did the quiz night. Did you win? No, he's a thicko. Huh?
It's a bit rude.
I didn't say a single thing, sir. I think we might have a party line.
It's a rude party.
So I'm ringing in, because I've had a couple of pints, I'm ringing in to be controversial.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
In relation to one of your regular callers, although I haven't heard much of him in recent weeks.
Yes.
I think Babcock's a fake.
Who's Babcock? I don't never remember the callers from day to day, so I don't know. What does he call in about?
Well, he gets Hoover stuck on his knob and stuff like that.
Oh, the Hoover on the end of the, that rings a bell. That rings a bell. What makes you... Okay,
I'm David Babcock and I got my willy stuck in a Hoover.
That guy, right, I've got you. I know exactly who you mean now. What makes you think he's a fake?
Well, I could be... My previous reputation, I could be just about to throw down the toilet, but I think, I'm going to go as far as to say that I think he's got grey hair and an Irish accent.
Sorry?
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm putting out there.
Okay, this call suddenly went very weird. I hope we don't lose the connection. Oh, we lost the connection, Ray.
Would you believe it?
So a guy, I'm going to tell you a story about a guy.
Oh, good, I like those.
I'll tell you a story. This story is a story about a guy. I think you're really going to dig this guy. His name is Sridhar Chillal. He's from Pune in India. And he's 82 years old, right? He's been growing his fingernails since 1952. Have you seen the picture?
Big, yellow, cheesy fingernails.
And, I mean...
They look like quavers.
He's holding his hand up to his head, right? He stood in the corner of a tower block. It's a strange picture. He's got his hands up to his head, right? And the fingernails. What is that? Are they tied up there? The fingernails go all the way down onto the floor. But then it looks like... What's that? It looks like there's a section of them that's kind of curled up.
Oh, yeah, they started to curl.
No, I know they started to curl, but... there's a bit that looks like they're taped up in a circle. Yeah, that was the thumb. Right. So the okay. So the little fingernail in 2015 was 179 centimetres. The bird was 186 centimetres. The thumb, and this is the one that's curled up like a roll of sellotape at the end of his thumb, 197 centimetres. This is in 2015. And he has decided to cut them off.
Oh, look at that. That makes me want to puke.
Filth, isn't it? Oh, brilliant. They're going to be housed in New York City. I'll be able to take the boys to see them. I won't. It's at Ripley's, believe it or not. And I'm not going to mortgage the house to go and watch that crap.
Also, I don't believe it.
Ripley's, believe it or not. That's what they called it that because people, when they go in, they cannot believe how much it costs to get in. Who would pay? It costs like a fortune. And he's cut them off. And I think that's a sad thing. But also, he's not done a great job. When you see the picture of his fingernails now, they're still kind of longer than his fingers. Why has he done it? Why on earth has he done it?
Maybe he wants to wipe his bum himself.
Oh, Catherine!
Oh, come on. Practically, how do you do that? When you've got great big claws.
Let's have a... Hang on a minute. Let's see if we can...
I bet he had a stick with a sponge on.
Here we go. Let's have a look. I was doing that bit. Hey!
Is it just one hand or is it both hands?
I was doing the singing bit there. I was doing the ghazal, as it's called. I was doing the singing. Listen. The singing is a... It's not bad, is it? Here you go. This is it. Acapulco. And this is it with the music. That's not bad, is it? I could go to India and be a rock star. Be a Bollywood rock star.
Well, and then just raise it up a couple of octaves and it's flamenco.
Can I ask you a question?
Go
you
on.
were laughing there, and I don't know why. Pourquoi, Yati?
Because well, the expression on your face and the fact I could see your beard jiggling about.
That's not my beard. Doesn't even make sense.
I know, but it's probably rude. But has he got a serious question?
Okay.
Did he have both hands?
It's cut off with a drill.
Oh my. Did he have both hands long or just one? Did he have a doing hand and a...
I'm singing. Huh?
Did he have a doing hand and a showing off hand, is what I'm saying?
I don't know, kids. Weirdo. Why would you do that?
Oh.
And the world needs more weirdos to keep it going. No, it doesn't. Not people like that. At last.
Did you ever try to break a record?
No, but my youngest is because he's obsessed with breaking a record, and several times coming out of school, I'll often take them a treat, and I said there's a Twix for you there, and I've got some water. No, I'm not drinking water. Sorry, I want to break the world record for not drinking water. Right. This is at 3:30 in the afternoon. I said, okay, well, have you drunk any water today? Nope. I said, oh, okay, all right. Do you know what the world record is? No. I said, okay, right, well, fine. Well, if you want to do that, do you know what? I'm going to back you. Then we get home and we watch a bit of Horrid Henry and play Xbox. And then at 5 o'clock he goes, I'm really thirsty. Could you get me some water? What are you doing? Where's the dedication? This is broken Britain. This is Brexit.
Dedication's what you need, according to record breakers. You also need to know what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
I tried, partly inspired by Roy Castle, partly inspired by
the blowing
Violet Beauregard.
Yeah.
Chewing gum for as long as I could.
What's the world record for that? Because
it was long. I had Hubba Bubba.
Yeah.
And I had 2 goes at it.
Yeah.
And the first time it just turned... I had it all day, and it just turned into, like, paste. I couldn't chew it anymore.
You're not allowed to add more in. You don't know the rules, do you? So I'm asking
I didn't get Norris McGuirter involved. And then the second time, which was the last time, for obvious reasons, I tried the trick of putting it behind my ear before I went to bed. Because that's what Viola Beauregard did.
Doesn't work.
I ended up having to get it cut out of my hair.
Silly man. My sister's got a world record.
Has she?
Yeah, but one of those world records where it's for the most number of people doing something.
Okay.
But I think it was her and my niece, I think, are in it for the most. Have I got this right? The most number of people making the shape of a bicycle. I think that's it. I think that's what it is in New Zealand.
Here's my theory. I could be a record breaker now for being the first person to say Wibble 10 times.
Wow.
It's just about finding your niche.
Yeah, it is, I suppose. 03444991000. We've covered a lot tonight. Pimple poppers, arguments with Piers Morgan, beanbags, Build-A-Bear, all kinds of exciting fun things. Another 30 minutes to go before Daryl Onions comes in. I heard the first. Heard the first.
It's not Daryl Onions tonight.
Who's it tonight?
It's a young hopeful called Martin Kellner.
Oh, that guy. He's
a shock jock.
That guy's an ass. That guy can kiss my ass. I'm not letting that guy in this studio and ruining all the hard work I've done over the last 3 hours. He's gonna come in, he's gonna ruin it by calling people all kinds of rude names, hanging up on the callers, and making blow-off noises to the
Getting
guests.
women to sit on speakers.
What happened to the other fella then?
Just a one-off, I guess.
Just a one-off. Okay, well then. We came up with a nickname and everything for him.
Well, maybe he'll come back.
Can we call Martin Kellner Martin Onions?
Okay.
I like that surname Onions. I think it's affectionate. And let's pass Daryl Onions' name on to Martin Onions. There we go. Does that work?
Yeah, I'm sure you won't mind.
1 o'clock, Martin Onions will be on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB. Independent Republic of Mike Graham on Talk Radio.
Blasted rhetoric from the Banana Republic for people who think capital punishment isn't going nearly far enough.
Join me, the Reverend Mike Graham. Revolutionary, rebellious, rebuilt, rebranded.
Dangerous mid-morning
debate. You can't go galloping about on a nice horse dressed in armour and slaying dragons anymore. What's the point of the night?
On Talk Radio.
The wild man of late night radio.
Bang them titty figure. Bang them titty. Bang them titty figure.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
03444991000 is the telephone number. Cassif, call in again, man. Cassif's tweeting me. I don't know why Cassif is tweeting. You can call in again, you know, this time of the night. People want a bit of double bubble. I'm happy for a bit of double bubble the last 25 minutes of the show. I don't care, man. I don't care. A little bit of the old,
DB.
The old double bubble. I'll give you some double bubble. Let's see if we've got anything in the old, newspapers. I'm really enjoying, I'm really enjoying experimenting with voices.
Are you?
I wonder if you can find a new voice. Can you? Okay. So we have our voices. Now, voices change throughout life but mainly because of gravity. Gravity. Check with that. For men with their testicles dropping, it deepens the voice, and you can tell how deep someone's voice is going to be by the size of their testicles. That's a fact. There's a way of measuring. You know this. This isn't even a joke. I heard it on Radio 4. There's a term of measurement for testicles, and it's something like. Oh, what's the word? I had a program about it. Google testicle measurement. There's a word for it, and it's like onions or
acorns.
It might be acorn or clementines.
No, shut up.
It's something, and the size of a man's testicles generally, unless it's some medical issue, dictate
orchidometer
based on orchids. Right, that's it. Thank you. And they measure testicles compared to orchids. And the bigger the measurement, the deeper the voice is going to be.
Goes from 1 to 25.
Wowzers! And can you do the voices for each one?
1, 2, 3.
Let's just skip to 25.
24.
Right. 25. If you want to know someone who's got famous person who's got 25 size 25 testicles, it's the guy who does the last Way On Down at the end of Way Down by Elvis Presley, the very, very last one at the end of the record. He's a 25. So gravity plays a big part in voices changing. But I wonder is it possible to, like we can teach ourselves to have a different walk, and we can change the way we look by getting a new haircut, and we can train ourselves to get all kinds of affectations. Can we train ourselves a new voice?
Yeah.
So,
Of course you can.
no, but so that is then your speaking voice, and you're not putting it on. So if I imagine that my speaking voice was like this, I'm putting it on, and maybe in a moment of deep relaxation, I might go back to my normal voice, which is this, right? But could I train myself? Could I teach myself? Could I imprint? And I guess I mean like those little plastic records you get in the back of Action Man. Could I imprint this voice to make it my own real voice, so that it is my real voice?
What about people that get that get a bang on the head and then suddenly start speaking what people say is Chinese, but it isn't?
No, they don't. This is that story is always nonsense, because they never actually start speaking Chinese. They just start talking a bit like that.
And people, racists, say that sounds like Chinese.
They just start talking a bit like that. And people go, and Mum woke up and she spoke Chinese.
But their voice has changed.
Yeah, but it's not.
They're not doing it on purpose.
They're not doing it on purpose. Can you answer the phones, please? Thank you very much indeed. They're not. But so I would need a blow on my head for my voice to become like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But I just want. Can you teach yourself?
I think you can. Isn't that what the point of going to drama school was?
Oh, yeah.
Because they all ended up having their voices changed, and they projected a lot more, so they would go deeper.
Yes.
And louder.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And you'd have people speaking very, very much like this, and they're from Liverpool.
Well, Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes is a Scouser. And when he does a Scouse accent to prove he's from Liverpool, it really sounds like a fake Scouse accent. I always think, well, that's so he's taught himself. So, okay, so you can change accent.
Oh, you can change accent. Mine's not
But
the same as
can you change timbre?
Yeah, I guess you can.
Isn't that funny?
Like,
I'm gonna
Lauren,
do that the weekend.
I read Lauren Bacall's autobiography, which is great.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't care. She does not care about anything. And she was taught, when she first started acting, that she had to lower her voice, and that was the whole point. Lower and slower.
Yeah.
Because women at that point were all talking like that.
Yeah.
So it was that.
Did you do that again?
Weren't talking terribly like that.
Gosh.
But she,
That's unsettled, distant memory. Let's hear Richard's voice. Good evening, Richard.
Are you, Ian? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, Richard. What have you got for us tonight?
I just wanted to say thank you for getting me through winter, because I listen to you and Kath every night, and you got me through winter, basically. Like, I've been through 2 detoxes, I've got mental health problems, and you really helped me out. I listen to you every night through winter, and you know.
Well, thank you, man. That's a very kind thing.
You got me through winter.
Yeah. What about spring and summer? We're nearly in autumn.
Thank you. That's all.
Oh well, hey, listen, man. That's very kind of you. How is life treating you now?
I've got 5 children. My son's in the army. My wife's left me because I've got mental health problems.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
But you know, you two got me through this winter.
Who is your favourite out of me and Kath? And be honest.
Kath's a bitch. You're alright.
Whoa! Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. She what?
I know what she's like. She's a bitch to you.
No, hang on a minute. I know you're saying that as a joke, but I have to flag up that Kath is my best mate. And I know you don't mean it like... Hang on a minute. Mental health issues to one side. I know you don't mean it like that. But the term bitch is very, very, very rude. Very rude. And a very hurtful word.
Do you think?
No, I don't think. I know. It's a very hurtful word. And,
That's probably why my wife's left me there.
I think we're starting to get a good idea as to why. You know, you have just said something very, very hurtful about my best mate. And if we were, you know, if we were not within the confines of the studio, I would tell you to F off, and I would suggest that Catherine and I move away. So just...
I'm sorry, Ian. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologise to me, man.
It's just, I'm on morphine. I've got
to be honest, I couldn't. You know what? I respect that. Of course I do. But I couldn't care less in as much as.
I wanted to say thank you, Ian, for getting me through winter.
All right.
You know, April was snowing and it
Okay. Listen, dude. I really appreciate that, but I would really like it. But I would really like it if you would apologise for calling my best mate a bitch.
No, she's a bitch.
Right. Well then, do you know what, Richard? You can go and fuck off, mate. There we go. Thank you very much indeed. There we go. The second one of those F-bombs may have slipped out. It didn't. Okay, just in case it did, apologies to the people at home, apologies to the people on YouTube, but you would have heard my true feelings on the radio. I'm sorry about that, Kath.
It's not your fault.
No, because I thought that was starting out as a nice, fun... I thought that was starting out as a really nice... if you didn't hear it, you won't have heard it at home. I told him to F off, because I'm not having that. I thought that was a nice, heartwarming thing... And I thought maybe I gave him the benefit of the doubt and thought he'd just overstepped banter, as some people do with us. They overstep banter. But no, he was a dick. He was an absolute dick, and I think we know exactly why his wife left him. I'm really sorry.
That's all right.
No, but that upsets me that someone would speak to you like that.
Well, I know it's not true, so...
Wow. That upsets me.
Fancy saying that to someone, anyone, but saying that to someone you don't know.
I'm sorry,
But thinking that you would get it.
Yeah, thinking I was in on the gag. No, not at all. No, here's the thing. Me and Kath are allowed to slag each other off. That's it, right? Because we know each other very, very well, and there is a lot of affection in our... Sometimes Kath takes it a bit too far, if I'm honest, but there is a lot of affection in our... we take the mick out of each other in the way that mates that know each other very well can do, but... You can't. It's what I'm saying. And if you do have a go at her, I'm sticking up for her. And if you have a go at me, she does the same thing, man. So that was out of order, Richard.
I don't think that was about me.
No. What do you think it was about?
I think that was about his problems with women.
Yeah, I suspect so. No,
because I know I didn't deserve that.
No, not at all. Not at all. And again, I don't think that went out on the radio. If it did, sorry. On YouTube, I'm really sorry there. The late night alternative, Martin Onions, is on in 15 minutes. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK,
what an arsehole.
Online and on DAB.
What an absolute arsehole.
For those about to talk, we salute you.
Cast your mind back and think. Were you ever contacted out of the blue for a pension review?
5 children.
Yeah.
Were you advised to move your
I'm sorry, mate, that was horrible.
That's upset into a SIP, self-invested personal pension?
Yes, I was.
You could be due thousands if you were missold.
Well, I didn't hear it. I thought he must have said something else. And then when it was obviously out, I thought, right, it's a little bit of banter and it's got out of hand, so let's just correct him.
I'm sorry when you realise it.
No, he's a
85077.
That new hate crime.
It doesn't matter how our customers feed back to us, but it matters that we listen, which is why we've added the new Ford Transit Courier to the Transit range. It's still as hard-working, versatile and reliable as the rest of the Transit range, but is now available with a new optional 6-inch colour touchscreen, voice control, DAB and sat-nav. So whether you're delivering sourdough to Swindon, T-shirts to Tooting, or doing plumbing in Perth,
fair play though, I just told a call to fuck off. I'm very proud of myself for that. Didn't quite get to the dump quick enough.
Together, we go further.
We got it at Selco. Selco is where the trade go.
At Selco Builders Warehouse, we've got real deals on a wide range of trade quality building products. In July, we've got 20% off Selco trade price kitchens when you buy 6 or more units.
And the winner of the best use of the dump button goes to Iain Lee, just now on Talk Radio. Sensational.
We've got even more real deals at Selco Builders Warehouse. For more information, see selcobw.com.
We got it at Selco. Selco is where the trade go. Greetings, Earthlings. We come in peace. We wish to communicate with your leader.
I'm Howard Hughes. Join me this Sunday night from 10 for a trip into the outer limits.
Untwist the lid on Talk Radio's
bullshit. Howard Hughes.
The supernatural was simply unexplained.
The Unexplained with Howard Hughes. Sunday night from 10. Earth time on Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I've just turned around and I've just got a waft of myself, and I'm a bit smelly.
Are you?
Yeah, I am a little
I
bit.
can't smell anything.
Okay, well, I am. So, there. The Who have revived plans for a movie biopic.
I never know. I always say biopic, but...
I think it's biography picture, but so it should be biopic, but I think it's biopic. Or my thing. Biopic of their infamous wild drummer Keith Moon. Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend have hired a new rock writer for the project, which fell apart 5 years ago. Daltrey admitted that he is concerned that the film must not become a story about the band, but solely on Moon's madcap antics over 2 decades before his death in 1970. Here's the thing, I used to buy totally into the Keith Moon myth, and there's a wonderful a wonderful biography about him called Dear Boy, and and then, like, a few years ago, I thought, God, I bet he was a real pain in the arse. What a nightmare. What an absolute... It's like having a sugared up 9-year-old all the time.
I was just thinking exactly that.
What a nightmare. He's an incredible drummer. Absolutely incredible drummer. But, he used to dress up as Hitler and go goose-stepping around Golders Green. I mean...
Top bounce, lads.
I mean... Really? Many thought the project was dead after a string of producers and writers tried to carve a drama. Daltrey admitted there is a pulse and we are working on it. It's not about the Who, it's a film about a drummer who happened to be in the Who. I just think, man alive. When I was growing up, my favourite heroes were all rock stars that had taken a load of drugs, right? So Syd Barrett, Brian Wilson, Keith Moon, Arthur Lee. And all of these, it all sounded so cool and exciting. And then when I was much older, I went, oh yeah, those people either died really young, or they went nuts and spent decades hiding, either in the case of Syd Barrett in a council house in Cambridge, not coming out, or Brian Wilson, he spent 3 years in bed, and it never dawned on me that their lives were miserable. I never took that part of the story in. The only bit I took in was them taking acid and cocaine and having wild adventures and crazy times and having lots and lots of sex and but in those books they should also write about the next day, the come down and and I never took that. It took the downside of that stuff in, unfortunately. So I went and did my own experiments and
you found the downside yourself.
I found the downside myself. So, VR units, and I could start charging for this, because I've got a VR unit. Right. VR units can help cure cancer. No, they can't. Fear of heights can be beaten by using virtual reality to simulate being perched on a 10th floor balcony.
Right.
But it can, because for a significant number of cases, phobias, which is an irrational fear, can be, the fear of spiders can be overcome. I've overcome my fear of spiders. Was it a phobia? I don't know. Probably not. It was a fear, but I don't think it was a phobia, But the boys called me in, there was a spider in the house the other day, I managed to pick it up and chuck it out the window. So, I taught myself to overcome it.
But it's about having that inner conversation with yourself and saying, this is not dangerous, this is, what was it you were saying in the jungle? This is perfectly safe.
Perfectly safe.
Perfectly safe.
Perfectly safe. It was. It had to constantly sound that flipping thing 100 feet up in the air. This is perfectly safe. This is perfect. All the time I was thinking, if I'm honest, I can say this now, I think it's Michael Lush, the guy that died on the Noel Edmonds show.
Oh, God.
I was 100 feet up in the air thinking of Michael Lush. Honestly, I don't say that as a joke. And then when I jumped for that star, and I was told several times, you've just got to hold on to it. You can't fall because you've got your harness, but you've got to hold on to it and it stays there. And just before I did it, I said to out on the deck, well, like, how far will I fall? They said, oh no, you won't fall. So when I started falling 100 feet, I was thinking of Michael Lush. I thought, shit, I'm dead. This is another one of those stunts gone wrong. Honestly, I was terrified. Then when
You didn't know it was a bungee?
Didn't know it was a bungee. Then when I plummeting towards the floor, thinking, I'm dead, man. I'm dead. And then as I went up, I realised it was a bungee, and I just called them winkers. You effing winkers!
That was a proper moment, that.
That was horrendous. But it was genuinely, for those who don't know the Michael Lush story, Noel Edmonds had a show, was it the Late Late Breakfast Show? It was one of those shows he had before his house party. And he would pick a viewer at random and then spin a wheel, and they would then have 7 days to do a stunt that they would do live on the show the next week. And it was this guy, I think his name was Michael Lush, and he was going to be taught to be an escapologist, but he was going to be in like a big sort of metal crate suspended 100 feet in the air from a crane. And the stunt, not on TV, but in the week, a couple of days before the show, the stunt went wrong, and the crane dropped, and this guy was killed. And it was a huge thing, and yeah, genuinely, I was thinking of that, because things can go wrong. You've all seen the footage of, you've all laughed, even though it's actually horrible footage, of Anthea Turner getting set alight.
Yeah.
And we've watched it, and we've all sniggered, even though it's horrible. Another one that we've all sniggered at, but is horrible, is Bobby Davro in the stocks. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think I have.
Well, allow me to...
I was thinking of the Michael Jackson Pepsi thing. His hair
Yeah. Let me show you this.
That's one of the contributing factors to his problems later on, so they say.
I'm going to show you this. This is horrible, right?
Well...
No one dies, but it's horrible, right? So this is a famous clip that they use in safety films at the television company. So it is... And it's all... Everyone laughs at it. It's Jim Bowen, Lionel Blair and Cheggers, and they've got Bobby Davro in some stocks. He's got his head and his arms in, right? Have a look at this. Hold his trousers down.
That's a sex assault.
Watch. He's about 2 foot in the air.
Good old Cheggers, straight in there.
Cheggers is great. I love Cheggers. He's about a foot in the air. Hand on a block, locked into a thing, and he falls forward. And of course he can't...
Straight onto his face.
He can't stop it. Cannot stop it. Ooh.
God. And that's heavy. That was heavy, that, as well.
Horrible. I mean, and I've watched that, and I can be honest, I've laughed at that. And I think now, God, you laughed at that? That's horrific, man. That's horrific. Just being honest, you know, he's lucky he's not got brain damage. Where is Bobby Davro these days? What's Bobby Davro doing these days?
I don't know.
He's still alive, isn't he, Davro?
Yeah.
Can we get Davro on the show?
I bet we can.
Let's get Davro on the show. You know, another one of those people that was a huge star. Let's see if we can get Davro on the show. Maybe we'll go and see him at a theatre somewhere and interview him over tea or something. That would be nice. Let's get Bobby Davro on. It's an incredible clip. Here comes Martin Onions.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Martin. Have you had a haircut?
Yes, I have.
Hey!
Thank you for noticing
It's my special power is noticing people when they've had haircuts.
It's very rare a heterosexual man notices your haircut.
I notice these things. I take it on board and I'm observant.
Well taken.
Nice to see you on I don't know what day it is today.
Well, it's Friday morning, they call it here. I call it Thursday night.
Thursday night. I don't think it's morning until you've had a sleep.
No, I don't think so either.
No. So we'd see you on a Friday night and a Saturday night.
And I will be here those 2 nights. I'm standing in for Paul Ross, who's gone to Italy.
Part-timer. The Paul Ross really needs to buck up his ideas if he wants to
He's by a lake in Italy. I saw a picture on... he's not told me that, but I saw a picture on social media.
You saw a picture in your mind as you tuned in. All right, well, so then what have you got tonight?
Well, we got Trump. Obviously, he's given this exclusive interview to The Sun, and we're playing it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so he's given his views on how Boris Johnson should be Prime Minister. He said that Theresa May didn't take his advice on Brexit. He knows how to negotiate a deal. You know, the usual stuff. It's me, it's Trump, it's narcissism, it's... obviously I keep a balanced view, but...
Hey, you're not at the BBC anymore. You're not working with those suckers. You can tell us what you think.
Yes, well, it's narcissism gone mad. She should have listened to him.
Yeah.
He knows it's a very bad deal, very bad. Everything's bad, or it's very good. But we've got sort of 8 clips of Trump from this interview talking about various things. We're talking about trade and all that. And as well as that, we've got. But the important thing that we've got is there's an exhibition in New York at Ripley's, believe it or not. Of
The fingernails.
The fingernails.
We've been talking about the fingernails. We've got to stop there, Martin. You save those
So exciting.
fingernail
Yeah, will do.
powders.
Absolutely.
We'll be back tonight at 10. Martin Kerner is up next. Ta-ta. Those disgusting fingernails.
Organic entertainment.